Hello, guys. Welcome. We got a lot of stuff to do today. Before I get into all of that stuff, one brief announcement. I am working on the Discord server. It is more complicated than I ever imagined because I'm not really used to Discord. So, my goal is to get it out at the end of this month, hopefully. It won't be probably fully finished because I have to figure out how to do the roles and which channels to make. But I want to have at least the core of it done so people can come in there, have conversations about given topics we discuss on this channel, and I guess anything outside of that anime related. So that's the first announcement I have. Actually, that's probably the only announcement now that I think about it. I'm trying to get the Sinister Geass list, I guess terrifying or sinister. I'm not sure which name I'm going to call it yet, but that the goal of that to get is that to get it done by the end of the week. Other than that, I need to focus on again getting Discord the server done, some blog updates too. So I may not be uploading as much as I normally do in terms of like stream highlights and reviews. We'll see how much time I have rather. Okay, let's get started with the first topic of the stream, which is going to be another quick review. This one is going to be on Full Metal Panic, just the first season, and again, non-spoiler review. Although I'm sure if you know of Full Metal Panic, you probably watched it already. So let's get into that. Now, before I even go into like the story of Full Metal Panic or the characters, conflicts, any of that stuff, I just want to say at top of the bat here, like the reason why this anime is so good, or the great triumph of it, is the fact that it blends so many different genres together seamlessly and doesn't come out of place. I know that like Code Geass does the same thing, but I find that Full Metal Panic does it a little better. And if you want more specific details, so Full Metal Panic it's like two-part story, or it's like two halves rather. One half of the story is a high school slice of life comedy. The other half is literally a war, a dramatic war story. And you would think if you had these two opposing things, it wouldn't work in an anime, but it does in Full Metal Panic. It's so well done. I was actually impressed when I first watched it. A friend of mine recommended. He said like it's kind of polarizing. I guess some people don't like it, some people do. I personally fell in love with it the moment I started watching it. Very funny story. The comedy and the slice of life stuff never ever took away from the war stuff. When the anime wants you to take this seriously, it makes you take it seriously, and it wants you to laugh. You'll laugh as well. You don't. I never thought there was an issue with that, and I think it did a little better than Code Geass, which I know has been criticized for that. Not Full Metal Panic, Full Metal Alchemist rather has been criticized as well for having too many comedy moments intertwined with the serious stuff. I think if it's done well, there's nothing wrong with it. So that's like the first thing about the story I wanted to discuss. Now, in terms of the characters, again, no spoilers here, but I like all of them. It's not a large cast, kind of like the one I talked about last week in was it Trigun? Yeah. So this one, you have Sosuke Sagara, who is the main guy. He's really funny. He plays the fish out of water scenario or character where he's not used to being in high school. He's been in war his whole life. I'm not going to say the specific details, gotta be spoilers, but he's been in battle since he was a kid, and because of that, he doesn't understand high school at all. There's even a joke about like a condom. He was saying that yeah, when I was in the army, I used it to feel like it can hold one liter of water. So the point, he just doesn't understand what high school life is. So it's funny they have to put him into a situation where he has to watch Chidori. They keep pronouncing her name weird in the dub. But anyway, he has to protect the main female in the story, Chidori, for a specific reason. Again, not going to say why. And so he has to go into high school. And because he's so used to the battlefield, he's not used to high school life. So everything he deems as a threat isn't. And it leads to some of the funny moments in the story. Early on, for example, he goes into the girls' softball changing room and pins down Chidori because he thought there was a threat, even though there wasn't a threat. And it was just really funny because he doesn't understand that how high school life is. And in his two soldiers that work beside him. Well, one is his superior, which is Melissa Mao, and the other one is Kurtz Weber. And they're trying to explain like, what are you doing? He's like taking unnecessary hits for no reason. But it's really funny. And the thing about Sasuke is that when he is like in combat, the guy is an excellent mecha pilot, and they use arm slaves, which they're kind of interesting. They don't have quite the I guess a little transition here to the mecha stuff. They don't have quite the finesse look at say a Gundam or Eureka 7 or even not Eureka 7, Code Geass. It's more it's more normal looking mechs. They have like a pretty stable, I guess, a bodysuit. There's like cool displays at the top. And one thing I like about the story is that if a character looks to the right or the left while they're in the mech, the arm slave, the screens will actually flip. So when you're looking, you actually can like it follows you around. It's a really subtle thing, but I appreciate it when they make the mechs really awesome in these stories and give them like a higher functionality. In terms of like what they can do, they're not as say powerful as the ones in Code Geass. Although the Lambda driver is pretty OP. I'm not going to go into full details about that, but that's one thing that is. The rest of it looks like standard military stuff. It makes you think that this could actually exist, even though the story does question how this could exist. And again, I'm not going to explain anything related to that. And then, of course, you have the captain, going back to the characters, the main person who runs Mithril, by the way. That's the organization that their whole goal is to, they send mercenaries to stop different conflicts and war. Kind of like if you've seen Double O, it's just like Celestial Being. In fact, I watched um, Full Metal Panic first and then Double O, and I saw so many parallels between the two. And I guess this was I guess it was a, not a subgenre, but a trope that mechas kept doing, which was to have an organization that stops war. And I guess that's just a thing that was done during that time because Double O does it, and so does Full Metal Panic. But anyways, back to the point. So Mithril's organization, they essentially help out eliminate conflicts, and they do this through sending out mercenaries. Their leader is Testarossa, who is 16 years old, the same age as Sasuke and Chidori. And there's a lot of funny stuff with that as well. She's interesting because as a captain, she makes decisions. She's quite intelligent. There's another reason why she's in charge. Won't discuss that reason. But she's also still a child, so she acts up. She has certain desires for certain characters. I'm not going to say who. She's actually more weaker in appearance, like physically, which they do make fun of sometimes in the story, herself included. Which is, it adds an element where she's she's more vulnerable than you would think when you first meet her. But he's a good character, and that's the thing. I like all the characters in this story, specifically the main ones. Even the side ones are good too. There's these two captains. I don't remember their names. But they're not captains. They work under Testarossa, these two older guys, and they're very interesting guys. They're very interesting characters as well. So I definitely like the side people, and of course the main villain, which is Garin. I think it's his name, Garin. He's really cool. He's this guy who doesn't give a darn about anyone else. He's looking into a specific thing. Again, not gonna say what that is for spoiler purposes, or to not spoil anything rather. But he's really badass. He got this cool scar on his face. He pilots a really cool arm slave, and he uses the Lambda driver to disgusting results. And every time he comes into the story, business is going to pick up. Like JR always says about Triple H, business is about to pick up, and that's how things are not going to go well. Now, I don't want to go into spoilers, but there's like one conflict in this story. It takes place rather in the middle of the anime, and it was really intense, and it really proved the point which I said earlier, which is that this story can go from like a comedy slice of life to a war zone, and it's seamless because I was laughing with Chidori on the beach with Mao and Kurtz, and now all of a sudden, we are fighting in a Hamajistan, and it was really intense stuff. Full Metal Panic is pretty quick it's like 24 episodes. I got through it very quickly. Each episode is kind of a self-contained story. There are some things that transfer from each episode, but you can definitely watch them. I wouldn't say in any order, but there's like a couple two-parters, and then it kind of moves on. They nicely put in, I guess, filler episodes between the different conflicts to kind of like let you catch your breath, like the characters did after the major conflicts. One critique I could definitely see people saying is that after a major conflict, why is everyone so, I guess, calm and happy about it in the next episode? Well, I think the answer is obvious because they want to, again, catch your breath with the filler, but also the fact that they probably did discuss it, but the show must go on, as they say. There's like one scene where they basically tell you without telling you, if that makes any sense, that they're obviously thinking about this stuff, even though the next scene they're having a fun time in high school. Never bothered me, but I could definitely see some people critiquing that. One person I forgot to discuss with the characters is Chidori herself. She is a stereotypical tsundere, very aggressive, but warms up to the Sasuke as the story goes on. Always attacks him all the time. I mean, if it wasn't a slice of life moment where she's attacking him, like comedy purposes, she probably would have killed him at this point. Baseball bats that I think it's a fan she hits him with, or paper. She threw the first base rather, at him. She's always attacking him. I know it's supposed to be funny, but I never really got into it with Chitteri's character. It's one of the reasons why I love this story, but she really pisses me off. At least with Second Raid, and I'm not going to discuss that in this review, but at least in that one, she was more tolerable, more tolerable. In this story, not so much. I will definitely say between the two halves of the story, between the high school slice of life comedy and the war area, or I guess the war zone aspect, I preferred the war part more, which is why I watched the Second Raid and skipped Fumofu, which, as far as I know, Fumofu not only is a spin-off story, meaning it doesn't actually continue the story in any meaningful way. I guess it's a filler, but also it's all high school, and I wasn't too interested in seeing that. I mean, it's funny if it's Testarossa and Sasuke, but Chidori just really drives me crazy, and it's annoying too because there are moments in the story when she's not being completely annoying. She's actually a good person, and she's not evil, but I'm just saying she's actually like, good to listen to, and the way she interacts with the characters. But man, her Sunra stuff, it gets a little I can't tolerate it sometimes. Overall, though, if you remove that one aspect of the story, I really enjoyed Full Metal Panic. I definitely recommend it. It's free on Tubi TV. I believe it's on Funimation as well. It's a fantastic anime. Definitely 8 out of 10. Definitely recommend it. If you like mecha, if you like Code Geass, you like the whole slice of life aspect between high school and then a war zone area, then you'll like Full Metal Panic. It translates very well, which is probably why I enjoyed it when I went into it. So that's my Full Metal Panic review. Next week, in honor of Halloween, we're going to discuss Hellsing Ultimate. I thought about it this whole day, like, what are we going to discuss? Hellsing Ultimate seems very appropriate for Halloween. It's one of the reasons why, what are they called? Team 4-Star did their whole abridged series of Hellsing Ultimate. So that's the one we're going to do for next week. All right, guys, I'm going to read some comments, and then we are going to get into the episodes of today, which is going to be 12 and 13 of Code Geass. I purposely did it that way because I don't want to discuss 14, 15, 16 possibly by themselves, meaning like 12, 13, 14, because 14, 15, and 16 is the whole Mao trio episodes, and I want to discuss that all at one time. Okay, let's read some comments, and we will get started. Okay. Hi, I hope you're having a good day. I've been really liking the Geass episode streams. Good, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, they're fun to do. And this is like our march towards Ether capture, whenever that's coming out. And by ever, I mean like never. There's no announcements. It's kind of annoying. Greeting, how's it going? Hey, Nanamir. It's going good. I didn't get much that I wanted to today, but I guess all things considering, it wasn't the worst day ever. I could have definitely done some more stuff though. I think the focus was like trying to get like some video scripts edited or something. But anyways, you don't want to hear about that stuff. More people should watch Full Metal Panic. Absolutely agree. It's very criminally underrated, and like I've said about other shows I've watched that are older, as more new shows come in, these older ones, they kind of get neglected, especially ones like Full Metal Panic, which I think one of the disappointing parts about the series is that the creators, like, they spaced out the sequel, Invincible Victory. Like, it's way too late at this point. It came out, I think, like a couple of years ago. Maybe it was 2018. And by that point, I mean, the ship has sailed. They should have had that going on, I think, somewhat after Second Raid. And now they have these recap movies, and I don't know why they're doing the recap style. I personally would have just liked a sequel season. And I believe these recap films are basically doing what Code Geass did in Eureka 7. And I don't know, people have mixed feelings about them. I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have just made a more sequels to the story or something. Because there's one aspect of Full Metal Panic that doesn't get resolved in the first season, or the second season, or even the third season. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. And it would be good if they just kept that going and not make recap films. Which, from what I can tell in Mal, didn't even do well, so I'm not sure why they made them. Have you heard of S.R. Cryade? I think so. You know what it is? I go through a database of anime. Here, let me grab my 1 second. I think I've heard of that one. It sounds really familiar. S.R. Cryade. My computer is doing stuff. Give me a second here. It asked me if I wanted to save an empty document. That makes no sense. Who would do something like that? Okay, let me take a look. Control H. Here. Okay. S. I'm spelling it wrong. Let's see. S cry ED. Let's see. Here it is. My anime list. This came out 2001. I don't know why this looked familiar, but I guess I don't think I've seen this before. Is this? I thought maybe it was one of those retro shows that I saw on like a streaming site, but I don't even see. Oh, hold on. That's why I couldn't find it. Give me a second. I'm just scrolling through what's. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Where is it on a streaming site? Because I go through all the sites and I'm not seeing it in any particular one. Oh, let me try one more thing. I got an idea. Let me check Just Watch. Give me 2 seconds here. Let's see. It's on Funimation? Why does it say, oh, one seat? It's on Funimation. Interesting. Not Funimation. I'm Crunchyroll. God, I'm an idiot. It's on Crunchyroll, not Funimation. Did I just not list it here? Maybe it was a recent add-on? That's weird. I usually am on top of that stuff. Hold on. Yeah, I guess I don't have it listed here. It must have been a recent add-on to the... Well, anyways, I've not heard of it. Sorry. Long answer. Quick, simple question, long answer. No. I should check it out, though. If it's on Crunchyroll, it must be free to watch. Is this looks like it's a mecha or something, or a superpower? It's not a mecha. It's a action-adventure drama. That's cool. It's got summary films, too. Of course it does. What anime doesn't have summary films? Okay. Ooh. More comments have just come on here. Hello there, fellow Black Knights. Yes. Welcome, Raphael. Have you watched Yu-Gi-Oh? Where he's like, or Dark's like, Raphael. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. The Orikago's arc, I know it was a filler, but it's like my favorite one of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original series arcs. We got knows how are you doing? Question: if Shirley joins the Black Knights, how would it affect Luge Black Knight story as a whole? I don't think it would have done really a whole lot because she probably been like a figurehead, just like C2 and the Geass Order. What it would have done for Luge is given Shirley a place to be where he could take care of her and make sure nothing happened to her. Kind of like how he did for Ashford with Nunnally. I don't think it would have affected a whole lot. I think people might have said like they might accuse Lucia of playing favoritism to Shirley, but my assumption is she would have been like with Kaguya in that role. She would not have been the front lines fighting. Although Shirley is pretty handy with a gun, which makes you wonder why in Jedi Code, for love of God, they made her like throw a backpack at people when she actually can shoot a gun pretty well. But whatever. But yeah, I don't think it would have been a huge deal. I can see Tamaki making a joke like, "Oh, he brought his girlfriend," because Tamaki has to talk and make a fool of himself. But besides Tamaki being an idiot, which is what we expect at this point, I don't think it would have been a huge deal. Which is why I wish Shirley had just joined the Black Knights and they didn't kill her off. What could have been, but whatever. We can't get that story. I've always wished that Code Geass kind of followed the Fate Stay story where the original anime, Amiya falls for Saber. I guess spoiler alert, sorry. And then for Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, he falls for Rin. And then in the, what's it called? The visual novel, I think it is. He falls in love with Sakura. So if they did the same thing here, where like the original anime, Luke falls in love with Shirley. The movie, he falls in love with C2. And maybe in some alternative, again, visual novel or book or whatever, he falls in love with Colin. So everyone gets what they want. That would be kind of cool, but whatever. I know Code Geass isn't a romance, but still. Is he wearing the C2 shirt? Yes. I am wearing the C2 shirt. It's finally cold, so I can wear it. If it's warm outside, I'm not sweating in this thing. And it surprisingly, it's actually thicker than it looks. And you guys can't see Lucius right there, and she's petting him. It's funny. He's in I think he's in Emperor's outfit too, which is funny. Speaking of Halloween, Jezero Code is having a Halloween event with Luke dressing like the skeleton guy from Overlord. It looks really weird and creepy. Yeah, people say he looked hot in that. I don't know. I didn't get that at all. I've been playing through the Halloween stuff, and I got to rant about that later. But basically, it really pissed me off what they did. I mean, Jezero Code in general pissed me off, but this particular add-on really bothered me. We'll get to that when I start playing it, but yeah, screw that crap. Okay, I think it was these episodes that made Shirley my favorite characters. Since then, I had lots of other favorites, but Shirley will always be a character I really like. Yep. SJ Cry was directed by Goro Taniguchi, the Geass director. Ah, that's why you mentioned it. That's a good point. Shirley was able to shoot a gun once, but she did it out of desperation. I doubt she could do it again unless Lulu was in mortal danger. Actually, she did it twice. She shot Valletta and she shot a Mao. So she actually could do it twice. And when she grabbed the gun in turn 13 to help Lelouch, she seemed pretty confident she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. I guess it was desperation, but I mean, she definitely got Valletta. Well, she shot her in the arm, so maybe it wasn't that accurate, but I don't know. I still would like to see her shooting a gun than say throwing a backpack at like a monster, which makes no sense in context. But anyways, be that as it may, we're going to go into now the episode. So let me get my my banner here so we can. The first one's going to be Messenger from Kyoto. Ooh, I don't know if I like how that looks. Let's see. These all suck. I guess we'll just go with this one. These all suck. All right. Okay, let's get into. So these episodes are Shirley focused, which is nice because the last ones were focused on Colin. So these two are kind of Shirley focused, which is cool. I'm glad we get some more time with her. It's unfortunate we know it's going to happen later on, which kind of I guess diminishes this, but still, I think it's great. We got 2 episodes devoted to Shirley. Now, let's get into the first one, which is 12. Now, there's one thing I want to go off the transcripts because unless I'm like crazy, there's a part which made no sense to me, and you guys can tune in and let me know or chime in. There we go. I got the word. I can speak English. Exactly what they were talking about because in the very beginning, I'll let's see. So this is 12, right? So they're talking about something here. First, they mentioned how like the JLF was destroyed by Britannia, but Canaria's like, is that a joke? You know, we were barely struggling here, and they mention about how there's apparently this group of Japanese people who want to take over the country, but apparently apparently like it never happened or something. It was called Dalton says Vice Minister Internal Affairs has appointed a special group of 11s to self-govern this area. Is that correct? A group called the NAC. Apparently, when we stormed Naruto, we looked for evidence of the NAC's conspiracies, but it was buried in a landslide. Still, our suspicions remain high if we suppress them now. Sorry, it's raining outside, so I was like, ooh. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Do I have the noise suppressor on? Let me make sure I got it on so you don't have to hear that. I do. Okay. Maybe turn off stereo. Okay. So what's weird is they discuss this group called the NAC, and as far as I know, there's nothing about this in the story. I don't even know why they brought this random side plot. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't recall the NAC ever being discussed again in the story. It was like this. It's kind of like Refrain in a sense, but at least Refrain was brought up some different times in the story. But like here, they mentioned the NAC, and I mean, like I didn't get a chance to check the Wikipedia page, but like I don't recall this group ever doing anything in the organization or in the show. Let's see. I'm gonna do one quick Google search in the Wikipedia page for the NAC, but as far as I know, it was some. I thought it was Kyoto or something, but they never really discussed who the heck the NAC is. If I search for it, so okay, all right, so I was right. The Kyoto house is called the NAC. Got it. All right, that makes sense. It was a little confusing because they mentioned the NAC, but then Korina talks about the Kyoto. So why they use like the different terms, I guess. Maybe they didn't know they were the same organization. Maybe that's what it was. Again, it was I like the idea behind it, how they're discussing like actually interesting stuff about the current situation of trying to take over Britannia or Japan. They were conquer Japan. I mean, like keeping their control, but they don't really mention this NAC in Kyoto. It's interesting dialogue, but I think could have been done maybe a little better. And we get this weird table shape, I guess. And basically, Cornelius giving this guy the business, saying like, "Oh, you know, you're incompetent. We can't. Basically, we can't stop Kyoto because it destroys the economy. We can't stop Zero. We can't destroy the subway where the terrorists are going through because we don't have the manpower. So basically, we can't do anything. You know, thanks a lot." And then we get to she's Cornelia's really pissed off here. And then we get to this list, by the way, which is very important because if you notice, you can see that Jeremiah and Kill are both dead. This is now I'm not sure why they declared Jeremiah dead when he was picked up by the Code R, but yeah, apparently Jeremiah's actually declared dead, and so is Kill. Kill we knew for sure because Colin destroyed him with the Gurren. Then we get to Kyoto, aka NAC, talking, and they basically think it's all over now because of what happened to JLF, even though they gave the Black Knights the Gurren and Burais. But anyways, they think it's over. And then, of course, we see Kaguya saying, well, we got the Black Knights. And they're saying, oh, you've been obsessed with the Black Knights for like forever now. So we meet Kaguya, second appearance, I believe. But she actually gets to talk about her obsession with the Black Knights and specifically Zero. So there's that. We're back at school and then the teacher's talking about the Edinburgh, which was a location, I guess, in the past. And what's interesting is that if you remember the episode 3 when Luke uses his Geass on, he used his Geass on the teacher to ask him a question on what's going to be on the test, and he said Edinburgh. So this must be some important location. I have not read the novels of Code Geass, which actually do explain the backstory of certain things, but I thought it was interesting they brought the Edinburgh thing again. So there is that. Shirley has tickets. She wants to get to Lush because she wants to go on a date with him. And she thinks about this the whole time while she's swimming, talking to Millie, whatever the case may be. She's like, this is a big deal for her. I mentioned in my video how like she always wanted to go out with him and express her feelings, but she couldn't because she was afraid of rejection, ruining their relationship, all that stuff. So she really wanted to do the ticket. And of course, Millie's making fun of her because that's what Millie does. Eventually, she does get the courage to, well, this is later on, but she's contemplating it here. Lelouch actually comes in, which was funny. Because she says, what do you think about this? Lelouch goes, huh? And then of course, Shirley freaked out because she was going to ask Lelouch, and of course, she didn't. You get a little mix-up here, though, where, pizza face, Lelouch takes the tickets by accident because he was walking with the papers. And so she storms up to him and demands that, I'm not sure what she demanded. We don't know what she said, but she wants to go out with him. And he never really said yes or not. He just, I guess he just thought about it. I don't know. He didn't really say yes or no because she says here later on, like, we're just going on a date or we're just going out to a concert. It means nothing. So I find it interesting that, they didn't really declare what was going on here. I guess she kept it open-ended, which is probably the thing you should do. So there's that. And then later on, so C2, what is she doing here? Oh, the Cheese Coon, yes. By the way, we get that. We have the first appearance of Cheese Coon very soon, which is great. I believe this is Mao's first appearance in the story. I'm trying to think if he appeared before this, but this is, I think, Mao's first appearance in the anime, which is interesting. So Shirley is, again, she's very excited about asking Lush out, but she's keeping things, she's being realistic. Like, this could be nothing. They're back in the base. Lelouch is thinking about what Shirley gave him, the gift, the ticket. He's very confused about it. And what I like about this scene, and there's a couple of these in the story where Lelouch confuses between reality of like his high school life and the Black Knight's life, or his role as Zero working with the Black Knights. Because one of the people complaints about Code Geass, and I said earlier on with Full Metal Panic, is that if you have the two different things coinciding, it kind of diminishes one or the other. But what I like here is that you see how Lelouch is thinking about high school stuff, and then when Ogi gives him something, he's thinking about the ticket he got, and not the thing that Ogi actually gave him. So he's kind of confusing the two lives right now, which is good. It doesn't happen often in the story, but anytime you have a Millennium Actress or Perfect Blue type moment in Code Geass, I definitely appreciate it because those two films where they're Satoshi Kon's films where the characters they blend between reality and fantasy. Well, here he's blending between his two lives. So I personally like that, this whole element here in the story. We also got Joe where Lucius is like, "Hey, was a love letter from you?" And then you see Tamaki laughing, and Colin's like, "Can you please shut up? If this was a R-rated anime, I would tell you, I tell you to f off." But yeah, it's really annoying. And then we get to this funny part where apparently Tamaki's wasting everyone's money. Surprise, surprise, Tamaki wasting anyone's money. And then she's like, "Oh, you've been showing off, giving the money to the recruits, taking them out to dinners." I'm sure he's doing other stuff as well because Tamaki's a freaking idiot. So Lucia, of course, says, "You know what? You're not having the money anymore." And then Tommy's like, "What are you talking about?" And Lucia's like, "Look, you give results, then I'll help you out." And he goes, "Huh? How about you? Take your mask off." And everyone's thinking about it. Like, should he do it? And Colin basically says, Why should he do it exactly? I mean, what have you done, Tamaki, besides being annoying and destroying? Like, first episode, you ruined Nagato's plans. So no, you don't get to become leader. Lelouch didn't defeat Cornelia, but because he got her to a stalemate and to retreat, it's equivalent to a victory on their part. So he definitely doesn't need to reveal his identity at all. So the fact that Tamaki, as usual, being annoying in this story is completely unexpected. And then, well, you know what's coming next, guys. The table scene. This is the episode with the infamous table scene. My God. Who knew that a simple scene of Nina having her way with this table would become the most infamous thing in Code Geass history? I mean, like I said for 1,000 times now in every video where I discuss this topic, I never once thought about it. I know some people watch the show and didn't even realize it even happened. I think people made a huge deal out of it because they couldn't understand why a girl would do this. I'm not going to go into details about that specific topic. I've actually already done the video previously, but I don't know. I just maybe it's the fact that it was placed randomly between the Black Knights having their little squabble about how Zero doesn't tell them anything about their secrets. But at the same time, though, I don't know. It is funny though. It is funny how Nelly walks in. She's like, "Are you okay, Nina?" Because she was making noises, obviously, and Nelly doesn't understand what's happening. And of course, lucky for Nina, the blind girl comes in. Imagine with anyone else coming into this scene watching Nina. Ooh, not a good time for anybody. It's not a good moment when anyone's caught, having personal time. I don't know why Nina couldn't have done this at home where the privacy. I'm not sure where she even lived. I assume a house, right? Only loose lit or a dormitory, I imagine. So why didn't she couldn't do it in her dorm room is beyond me. That's part I never understood. I mean, did you not have tables in her room? I guess if I was to overanalyze this, that's my only critique about the scene is that why it was done in the school, the clubhouse, or the what do they call it, the student council room. Why did you do that there? Maybe the show was trying to be edgy with this scene, but yeah, I don't know. There's, I mean, I also say I think the purpose behind the scene too was to show that she really likes Euphemia. We saw earlier on that she did, but she's simply expressing how she feels. I mean, usually when someone's a crush on somebody, I mean, I'm not gonna say the next phrase, but they usually tend to, you fill in the rest. So I don't know. Maybe showing it was kind of weird, but again, it's like a couple seconds and it goes away. I love comments ripping on it though. It's pretty funny. Okay, anyways, now that we're enough of that. So now we have the Black Knight discussing how, again, they don't trust Lelouch because he doesn't seem to tell them anything. He keeps them in the dark all the time, which, by the way, is important. I mentioned in my intelligence video that while Lelouch has really good interpersonal intelligence, I do feel that because he kept the Black Knights, he didn't really understand their real motivation and desires, because if he did, he wouldn't have kept so many secrets from them. But at the same time, he kind of had to for some of his plans to work. So the result is that things went according to what he wanted. The consequence that the Black Knights didn't really trust him as much as they could have, which plays into the betrayal later on in the story. Spoiler, I guess, but you guys already know that. Then we get this scene where Colin knocks on the door to talk to Lelouch because she wants to know his identity. And then Colin, I believe, says to herself that C2 knows, and then she just walks away. Because I think deep down, and again, this is just a possible theory. I think she is jealous that C2 knows about Lelouch's identity. Well, Zero's identity. She doesn't like Lelouch. She likes Zero. That could be why she just kind of walked away. But yeah, she was definitely upset at the fact that Lelouch C2 knew of Zero's identity, but he wouldn't tell her. Although, in all fairness, I mean, Colin just walked away. I mean, Lelouch didn't say no. She did. So I guess she didn't want to press the matter. Maybe it was. Some people say it was out of respect to him. That's why she wouldn't. That's why she didn't want him to show his identity to her. Because I remember later on when they're. We'll get to this as well, where they're in the hangar before the poor Yokosuka thing. That she again was like a little upset that she even like caught him off guard without his helmet on. So I guess out of respect to him. But still, she mentioned C2, so I think there was more going on here. Anywho, Nelly wasn't feeling well, which is important because I forgot to mention. Let me go back a couple seconds here, or a couple of images here. Come on. I forgot one key important thing. Yeah, so when Shirley was talking to Millie, she thought that because Colin and Lelouch were constantly out at the same time, they must be going out, which never actually happened, by the way. But because she suspected that, she was concerned about like why that was happening. Then Lelouch said Nellie wasn't feeling good, or feeling well. So then we get to this point here. Again, we're rushing up a little fast here. Almost there. Yeah, so Nellie, we basically learned that she wasn't feeling well. She claims just because Lelouch kept avoiding her lately, because Lelouch is very busy, obviously, conquering Britannia or destroying Britannia. Pretty busy stuff. Oh, and one more thing too, mentioning, Nellie said that she didn't want to have the nightmare again that she's been having for a long time, which might have been a key to make the manga Nellie Nightmare of Nellie. But I think the nightmare she's talking about is, I guess, when her mother fell on her when Marianne was killed. I assume that's the nightmare. I didn't realize that Nellie had a little bit of PTSD, I guess. But yeah, she wanted Luce to be with her because she's having those nightmares again. Okay, now we get to later on in school. Lelouch is going out to do something. He tells C2 for the first time that I need you. He tells her this twice in the story that I know of. The next time's going to be with Mao. And she goes, okay, I'll help you out. And then C2 gives him tickets to go, or she says, stick to your contract, which is funny because this was to go to the concert with Shirley. Although conveniently for Lelouch's sake, Shirley calls and cancels the concert because she had to go to Narita to do one of the most awful things in the entire story, which is unfortunately find out her father died. Speaking of Narita, okay, they're going there. Oh, then this is part 2 where Lelouch, he tells the guy from Kyoto, because they're going to meet them, that he uses Geass on him to, I guess that's how he was able to get into the, into their home base in Mount Fuji without being detected. And then we get to Narita, and this is like the awful part of the story where you see that not only Lelouch killed a bunch of soldiers with the landslide, but he killed lots of innocent people, which we'll get to later on. But so we see Suzaku here. He is helping with the cleanup, and then he asks Lloyd about why the Black Knights would do this. He says they're knights for justice, and Suzaku was really pissed off about the whole thing because a lot of innocent people died for what he would have considered no reason. This is very important too. They bring up Rakshata, and not only they bring up Rakshata, but she mentions Cecile, and this I forgot to mention this in my discussion about Colin being the best Nightmare Frame pilot. Maybe I will in a top 10 video. But Cecile says that. Let's see if I can find it real quick here. Let's see. I don't know why I didn't. I thought I wrote this here. Yeah. So they confirm Rakshata's appearance here as the one who made the radiant wave surger, but Cecile says that the pilot who used it was very skilled, and if Lancelot had to fight her again, that pilot again, he'd probably lose. I get more confirmation that Colin is the best Nightmare Frame pilot in Code Geass, because every time people talk about the Gurren pilot, they always say, "Oh, it was a skilled pilot that handled the technology," because it implies that an average person couldn't have piloted the Gurren and do what Colin did, which was to get the radiant wave surger to work correctly on that device, which ultimately caused the landslide. And if you go back a couple images here, or in the episode rather, there's a part where when they're in the base talking, if you notice, I did find it's my first time going through the series, but Colin right here, I'll get a close up of it. Yeah, she's reading the manual for the Gurren. Look at this thing. It's a freaking textbook. She was able to figure this thing out in a couple of days and use the Gurren effectively. That's how intelligent she actually is, because she's obviously a good student. So she applied her student scholarship skills or scholarly skills to and reading comprehension as well to understand the manual for the Gurren and use it successfully in combat. So yeah, Colin is a perfect, I guess, combination of brains and brawn. That's why she's such a good pilot and student too in school. Anywho, back to the cleanup of Narita, which was just awful because so many innocent people died. There's like, I did a kill count for Code Geass, and I think there was like 20, 40 people shown here, but obviously it was way more than that. So yeah, we meet Rakshana. We discussed her thing. Then we have everyone going to Kyoto. Obviously, we know who this is. It's not Lush. Spoiler alert. They go up the ramp and they discover that they've been at Mount Fuji the whole time, which they can't believe. Now, there's one part in this that I made note of it. And I was kind of confused, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when they meet with Taizo Kirihara, he basically says like I can't trust you guys. Take off the mask, implying Zero should take his mask off. But here's the weird part. Okay, Ogi and C2. Remember, this is C2, right? It's not Lelouch. The height between the two of them um, is kind of off here because C2, if you guys didn't know, I'll search right here in case you're wondering. C2 is 5'6". So if I just in case you want any confirmation about that. So C2 is 5'6". Says right. Where is it? Yeah, 5'6". Ogi is 6'2", I believe. Maybe 6'2", 6'1". Okay. And the Lelouch is 5'10". It's always kind of bothered me. Like the other time they have the swaps, it never really was an issue. But the reason why is in this case is because the height actually kind of gave it away. It wasn't Zero. Yeah, he is approximately 5'10". Now, if they were in on this, it wouldn't have been a big deal because obviously, right, they planned out to know that even though the height difference would be weird, they would be aware of it. But they didn't know that was actually C2 the whole time. So it's kind of bizarre to me. And what's weird is that see now C2, like if you go further in the episode, yeah, see now C2 is way shorter than Ogi. But before, again, this is a really minor nitpick, but I was just like, observing this. But here they were, where is it? Yeah, they were on the same height here. Same height here, and then later on, she's clearly not the same height. I guess Ogi or any other Black Knight members didn't notice the fact that the height difference between C2 and Lush was like 5 inches. It's kind of weird. Again, not a big deal, but like, wait a minute, how did they? Is what it is. But the best part of the episode comes right afterwards, where Lelouch essentially breaks in one nightmare frames, takes out the other three, gives Taizi Kirihara's entire like resume, discusses how he betrayed Japan, but actually works with them as like a double agent, and the whole how he what's it called? He gave up Japan and all that stuff, and how he runs like the biggest company in the world with Sakuradite. So it's kind of interesting. Then Lelouch, of course, talks to Taizo Kirihara, shows his face, and one thing I will definitely give the movie's credit is that they fixed the weirdness about the scene where, so when he's talking to him here, everyone else maybe they can't see his face, but they can definitely hear him. And in case of Colin, I mean, you can literally see the back of his head. So you recognize the hair color. What I liked better was that in the films, I'll get the image real quick here. In the films, they talk in a separate area. Oh yes, I was like shows a full amount of panic stuff, but I ultimately did not. So if I go to the film, I believe it's the. I made the list for this. I should know. I think it's the first film. Yeah, it's the first film because 17 is the last conflict in the story that the film goes up to. It's right after Narita 2. Give me a second here. Almost there. Yeah. So in the film, the recap film, they're talking privately. So they're in one room here. Like, see, they're here, and they're completely separated. And I like this better because it limits the whole possibility of like, couldn't they have overheard this or seen the back of his head? In either case, this scene was not the. It had some issues. I definitely would agree, and the film definitely fixed that part. But anyway, so Lelouch says the famous line. He says, "Are you going to go on the path of blood right here?" And Lelouch is like, "Yes, I am." So that's a pretty epic scene. One of people's favorite lines in the story. More dead bodies, unfortunately. Looks like more civilians. Valletta called in Shirley, and they, of course, found the father. They seem kind of calm here, which is kind of odd to me, but they figured they confirmed the body. You see Lelouch coming back from the concert, or he came late to the concert. He sees Shirley crying in the rain. She's really upset. She asks him, why did the Black Knights kill innocent people? I thought they helped the innocent, which is very important because we'll discuss the hypocrisy of Lelouch later on. But anyways, she's upset about it. She hugs Lelouch and kisses him right here, which ends the episode. And that's 12 in a nutshell. It's not a lot. I guess a lot happens, but not compared to other conflict. It's more of a slow burn because you had to introduce Kyoto into the story, or the Black Knights being Kyoto. The whole situation with Shirley and her learning her father died. So you have those two stories kind of intertwining. That's kind of it in a nutshell. See any other? There's a part where Cedar talks to Marianne about her relationship with Lelouch. I'm not really sure what the context was with that. It was kind of odd. Although it was interesting when they mentioned how C2 didn't feel anything about Lelouch. You then see an image of Mao, which is actually perfect because, as we know, Mao and C2 had a big relationship. So I guess it was foreshadowing. And they do that twice, by the way, which I'll point out later on. Oh yes, one other thing I got to mention. This is a very important. I have to make a correction basically that I've stated many times on streams that is completely wrong and in videos. So there's a part early on before Lelouch goes to even meet with Kyoto. This is very important. I don't know why I should have looked at this further before I made statements definitive statements. But one second, let me get to it. Come on. All right, I know I'm like scrolling really fast here, but I'm trying. There's like a specific image that I thought was very interesting. It's right after he got his invite. I believe it was here. So when Lucius was staring at this computer, he figured out who the people of Kyoto could be. He narrowed it down to like 10 different people. He said like it must be these 10 people, and eventually I will and use my Geass on them or whatever. But he got the identity down to 10 people. And the reason why this is important, why I'm bringing this up, is that when I was discussing Lelouch defeating Light in a debate, and that's why this is actually kind of irrelevant, or why it's relevant. I mentioned how Lelouch doesn't have any detective skills, or never shows much deductive reasoning in this way, but that's not true because he figured out who the Kyoto members are. And I'm sure if I watch the show, there's probably more examples of this. So could Lelouch figure out through the same detective stuff he did here, Light's identity? Probably. And that's a big mistake on my part because I forgot he did this. Now, obviously, it's not the biggest feat of the entire story, but it mattered a lot because since he figured out Taizo's Kirihara's identity, he found his whole resume, he revealed his whole identity. I mean, he didn't just figure out this guy was in Kyoto. He figured out that this guy, his entire backstory, his resume, everything he did up to this point, including with a double agent, like he figured the whole thing out through detective work. So if Lelouch had to do the detective work to figure out who Light was, he probably could. So that's a mistake on my part. Lelouch could definitely figure out who Light was, because this was definitely the same situation, right? I mean, he knew Kyoto existed, but he had no idea who it could be, and he narrowed it down pretty well. Now, we don't know exactly how Lelouch figured this out, right? That's, I guess, the part that they don't explain, but because he did figure it out, we can infer he could figure out Light's identity too as Kira. Just wanted to mention that. I thought that was a correction on my part, so I do apologize on that. Okay, let's see. Any other notes I have here? No. That's all I got. A very emotional episode with Kyoto and Shirley. I gave it 6 out of 10. Just because as much as I do like the episode, not a lot happens, and they They kind of also put in that weird stuff about like the Kyoto, like they were going to take over Japan. It was just kind of randomly placed in there. And maybe the table scene lowers the episode down a little bit, even though I could care less, but there is that. Okay, let's go through them comments. My mouse could stop being annoying. Uh, I forgot about the second time Shirley used the gun. Yeah, she used the gun twice, but took a gun 3 times, if it matters. C2 is jealous of Lucian and Shirley's relationship. Probably. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Because the next episode, C2 is very aggressive to Lelouch. Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know, because of the jealousy. But I would interpret it as C2 just saw Lelouch as like, oh, here's another person I got to work with. I'm going to keep this very impersonal and just strictly business. Last time I tried something that was personal, I got too close to Mao, and we know how that worked out. It didn't. It didn't. So, and then of course, Arenya, it didn't work out either. Although at least in that case, that wasn't entirely my fault. That was Dash's fault. But who's keeping track, anyways? Do you think Kyoto should have had a bigger role? I mean, they kind of had a pretty large role to begin with. Didn't they give? I mean, maybe they were more of like the support role because they gave the Black Knights, the Gurren, the Burais, the submarine. They were supporting them financially. I mean, Kidahara was in charge of like what was it, international affairs, I believe. In 17, they give all the roles out to everyone. So I mean, I'm not sure how much bigger of a role they could have. I mean, Lush even took control of them at the end of the whole situation with the special administrative zone of Japan. So I mean, besides them like being on the front lines, which they're old guys, so they couldn't do that anyways. I'm not really sure how much bigger role they could have had. I mean, even Kaguya was with them. Like she specifically was with the Black Knights who not most of the story, once they got involved with the rebellion, she was with them. So they had a pretty large role. Although they didn't show the execution of like the main people, which apparently happened. I didn't know about it, but apparently some of my members were executed. Anyway, that's I don't think you could have done a bigger thing with Kyoto, considering their role in the story was quite significant. Imagine what the Black Knights would have been like if Zero kicked out Tamaki after the team and replaced him with Shirley. Man, what could have been, What could have been Tamaki, man. I'm glad they made Ryu and Akito Dags out. He looks like Tamaki, but acts nothing like him. God dang it, Table Kun. Yep. It caught us off guard. And that's probably what it was. It was like the shock value of the Table Kun. That's probably why people were like, ooh. You didn't expect it from Code Geass because it never showed anything sexual. Obviously, it was a lot of violence in the story, like lots of massacring even early on. But the sexual stuff wasn't the same level. I mean, there was fan service, butt shots, boob shots, but there was no like, here's a girl, pleasuring herself. Enjoy, I guess. None of that in the story. So that's true. It was probably the shock factor. But again, when you think about the context of the situation, it makes sense. But I can see how people were like, whoa. I'm like, I don't know. I don't get it. Also, I'm surprised that Toto or Kaguya didn't piece together Illusion is Zero because he was a political prisoner to Genbu. I know he was young, but instead it was both of them are pretty smart. Well, here's the thing. They didn't know that Lelouch was part of the royal family or he had some grudge against Britannia. They didn't know anything about him. Dalton figured that out, but I guess Dalton was smarter than both of them. I guess they never considered the possibility that he could have been either one of them, or that Zero was Lelouch. I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't think they even gave that a second thought, honestly, about who Zero's identity is. It's not a bad theory. I just don't know if they had enough reason even to think it. But it's not a bad thought, though. Tamaki, I told you before, listen to Colin. Shut up, you're not a genius and a wisely like Zero, so please die in a fire. Rivel, die in a fire. Lush even checked out the manual of the Gurren as well as he made notes and figured out how it works. Yeah, I think that's in the book. You notice there were these indexes. Hold on. Here we go again. Yeah. If you look here, there's like these little notes. I assume Lelouch and Colin both worked on these little, I guess, God, Tommy's face. These note cards, not note cards, sticky notes. There we go. Even telling Colin what to do with the Gurren. Yeah, I mean, he told her like how to use the arm to detonate the stuff for the landslide. But I would say that Colin's instincts also helped there too as a pilot because she's pretty talented, as the show has stated many times. Do you think the height problem it could be animation error or camera angle? I mean, let's say for sake of argument that it was in fact a camera angle or animation stuff. It still makes Ogi look like an idiot in the whole Black Knights because Lelouch is really tall. He's taller than Colin. So if Zero's height went from Lelouch's near 6 feet tall to 5'6", don't you think someone would have noticed? Now I thought maybe they gave Lelouch, let's say, or Zero's outfit, let's say, heels or something, or to extend the height. But you can definitely see later on that there was definitely a height difference, but nobody noticed it. It was really weird. Also, there's two Zero outfits now in creation. I'm not sure when that second one was made, but there's actually two in service now because Shirley and actually C2 and Luch both have one, and the one for C2 was tailor made for her, I guess. That might have been the case also in the episode in 7, but I always thought that was just Luch's. But hey, who knows? Someone made that claim once. Maybe it's more accurate than I thought, but still, though, I thought that was only that at the time. I thought there was only one in out there, I guess. Tommy acted like a child. When will we get a Mount Fuji? And Colin said you're embarrassing. Yeah, I don't know. They keep him wrong, I guess, for reasons that we'll never know. Lush even deduced down the 14 possibilities on Mao, including the correct one. Yeah, Lush is very good at that, but the difference between Mao and let's say a light, and again, I don't want to go into this debate, but the reason why it's a little different is that at least with Mao, he's looking at him, and Mao gave him a little hint about, he could, he mentioned C2, and Lush figured it out. With Kyoto, I don't know what Lush knew going in, but probably not a whole lot. So he had to figure out, just list a bunch of famous people in Japan, leaders, businessmen. He had to put it all together to figure out who the NAC was. So I think it's more impressive, but you're right. He did figure that out. That's very true. Is Tamaki a good fighter or something? I'm questioning why Zero kept him around. Probably for morale, or he was grandfathered in. Tamaki is not a good fighter. Besides the Luge, he's one of the worst pilots in Code Geass, Nightmare Frame wise. In the manga, Gurren and Logan. Heck, Gurren Logan? No, Lancelot and Gurren. They get this new recruit that joins the team. I forgot her name. I mean, it comes and goes. But she was supposed to train in Nightmare Frame combat. She fights Tamaki. And keep in mind, this girl just started as a Black Knight member. And by the way, for context, this takes place after the Special Administrative Zone Japan massacre because her family, I think, was killed during that massacre. Doesn't matter. I'm just time frame wise. So Tamaki had a lot of time to train a Nightmare Frame. So this is this girl's first time piloting a Nightmare Frame, and she's fighting against Tamaki, and she beats him. That was a close battle, but a noob beat Tamaki, one of the commanders of the Black Knights. So you already know Tamaki sucks. I think he's just there for, as people have said, comic relief. Even though the only relief I'll have is when he leaves the show. I'll not be surprised that Tamaki will be your number one least favorite character, Code Geass. At least someone that you despise more than Tamaki. He was actually not number one on my list. It was actually Bradley, but I might put him higher actually. In my my blog, I might increase his his ranking. Rivel and Tamaki are equally unnecessary. At least Rivel, you don't see him as much, but God, when you see Rivel, you just, God, what an idiot. Could you also include the deduction of Shanla's Power and Resurrection movie? Yeah, you could, I guess. It's a different universe. I was only comparing the original anime versus the original story of Death Note, but yeah, it's definitely there too, yeah. But the difference between that and, say, the example of Kyoto, the reason why Kyoto specifically is such a good example is because Lelouch had to figure out an identity of someone he never knew or maybe never met, and got down to 10 different people, and he was right. That's why it's impressive. Figuring out someone's ability when you see them is interesting, but being able to not even know the person's face, just having an idea of what you're looking for, and finding that person is why Lelouch could find out Light's identity as Kira, doing detective work. That's why I thought that scene was interesting. If I was Zero, I would ask Ogi why Tommy was hired in the first place. That's a good question because he ruined everyone's plans even before this. I thought Bradley was an okay antagonist. The problem with Bradley, I don't want to go into details here, but the problem with Bradley in a nutshell is that they tried to do like the typical psycho killer uh, character in anime who has like some kind of philosophy behind why they do what they do, and it's with Bradley, it was watered down and horrible. They tried to make him seem like more than what he was. I mean, if I compare him to say, Johan, or I don't know, or even Light Yagami for crying out loud, or you pick it, or even like these characters in like there's a character in what is it? Oh, D. Gray Man. I forgot his name, but he was really cool too. He was one of the actually good guys, part of the Dark Order, Black Order. I think it's called Black Order. But anyways, that guy, he was like I mentioned before, this character who's like the typical insane, crazy guy, but fights on your side, like Kenpachi Zaraki. Anyways, you compare all these different characters and their philosophies, why they do what they do, and you compare it to Bradley, it's not. He doesn't hold candle to those characters. He was really forced. That's the problem with Bradley in a nutshell. Well, for the scope of this discussion. I love watching videos. Thank you, Joey. Appreciate it. At least with Bradley, he had that cool nightmare, the Percival. Yeah, he did, but he also was annoying. And he died looking like Frieza for some reason. Kind of random, kind of a random thing there. Okay, let's go on to the next episode because I think we're good, and that is Shirley at gunpoint. Yes, this is a pretty good episode. It has a lot of feel moments in it, and it also has the Battle of Port Yokosuka, which is one of the most infamous in the story because it leads to one of the biggest cliffhangers. And we'll get to that in just a second. Let me first get the let's get going here. Actually, let's get it to this point. Okay. And thank you for telling me that. Okay. We are looking at this reverse. What the heck's going? Oh, we are. I don't know why it's doing that. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Oh, let me sort it by descending. Ascending, I'm matter. It was descending. I'm an idiot. Don't question my insanity. Okay. So the episode starts. Actually, before we get to this we get our first look at the intro and the new intro. By the way, this is the one that no one likes. It, I know I don't have much of the images from it, but we've got a brand new intro. We're no longer doing Jibunwa. Now we're doing it's. I hate this intro, man. When I was watching Code Geass for the first time ever, I love the first one. I was like, I just couldn't stop listening to that one every time that the show started. And then we got this one. I'm like, what is this crap? I know some people do enjoy it, but man, I hated the intro. The second one was not good. And spoiled too much too. Like it showed the Avalon for crying out loud. It was just, I don't know. It gave away, I think, too much in the intro, and man, that song was awful. Just the worst. Okay, don't that? Yeah, there's the Avalon right there. Okay, now we get started with the actual. We get started with the funeral scene, and it's really sad because, obviously now his mother lost her husband. She just discusses how like don't bury him because he already was buried. He was buried on the rubble, which was awful. I believe Colin mentioned how not Colin. Shirley said how her father couldn't breathe and he was a good guy. He did nothing wrong. Some people say he worked for the Code R, but that was not him in that episode. I went on a whole feed or not a feed, a thread where people were discussing this, and what I got the impression was that he was not there, and he didn't work for Code R. He was doing something else. He was very wealthy, by the way, because if you see their house they lived in, oh my god, it was a nice house. But anyways, so they're during the funeral, and Shirley's trying to comfort her mother. It's very difficult to do, obviously, given the circumstances. Still a storm in my room. Anyhow, Lelouch is obviously upset. Now, he wasn't upset when he killed all those innocent people in Narita, but because he hurt Shirley specifically, now he's upset about it. And again, we'll get to a very important contradiction that Luce makes in this episode. So Shirley's by her father's grave, and it's very hard to watch all this stuff. When she goes to talk to the students, I thought this conversation was actually quite interesting because Colin apologized outright, and what Shirley doesn't know is that Colin was actually legitimately apologizing because she killed her father by causing the landslide. Now, obviously, Colin was saving face, and she was pretending to be the feeble Colin, but deep down, she was like, I killed your father. I'm like, she probably feels more guilty than Luch does. I'm not sure that they both like feel awful about this, and that's why that whole conversation in Port Yokosuka is so significant because these characters, they're like, why are we still doing this? And Colin specifically because she's had doubts even before this episode about why we're doing this. Will this make change? Is this the right course of action? So I liked how Colin's apology here was actually more sincere than Shirley realized, and even Shirley said, "Yeah, when the Black Knights were doing their thing, I supported them too. So it's totally fine that you guys feel that way." Millie tells Shirley to cry, and she's like, "Yeah, I cried. Don't worry, Millie, I cried. Now please get your hands off me." Suzaku gets really pissed off, and what I'll say about Suzaku is that I agree and disagree with what he was saying here, because he was saying how the tactics that the Black Knights used was awful, cowardly. When you do this stuff, you're not really going to change the world. You're not doing anything productive. At the same time, I was saying, yeah, but Britannia also kills people in awful ways too. So it's like, I'm not saying one justifies the other, but I think it's a bit of a hypocrisy what Suzaku is saying here. I understand his point though, and he makes it many times in the story that the Black Knights target innocent people, or when they were target innocent people, obviously they were wrong. Before that, I didn't see his arguments being as correct because they weren't hurting innocent people. But now that they are, I'm like, okay, I kind of see your point, because earlier on, I'm not sure why he was upset with them. I mean, during the hotel rescue, Suzaku was like, yeah, why did they do that? You should work with the police. And Lucia's like, yeah, but that wouldn't have helped. Red tape wouldn't have done anything. And Suzaku's like, yeah, but we can make change from within. We can make change from within. And I was like, yes, you could make change from within. That's very true. But that's a long-term strategy, and the Black Knights had to act like right now. So maybe long-term, you could definitely fix stuff from within, but in the current situation, what Lelouch did made sense. So until this point in Narita, Hazaku didn't really have a strong argument against Lelouch's actions, but now he kind of does, because he is targeting innocent civilians, which is no different, I guess, than terrorism, which is something Lelouch was trying not to do. But Suzaku was pissed off here, and that's like the bottom line. Then we get to this part where they all leave, the two of them, to talk. And this scene here, by the way, this is the first time we see Cheese Coon. Kind of random, the box, I should say. We do see Cheese Coon later on, but this is her first appearance. I guess it's her. I'm not sure. There's the father. There's his grave, and the year he was born. So actually, I had the image early on because I didn't capture it originally, but she makes the expression, which I've discussed many times in the past. Oh, is it at the end? Hold on, I'll load it up here. 1 second. So she says, when I kissed you, forget about it, because Shirley basically forced herself on Lelouch, the kiss, because he didn't, she took advantage of the grief to kiss Lelouch, even though deep down she probably shouldn't have. And she makes this expression where she says, I finally get to kiss you, but I can't be happy, and she runs away. And Lelouch doesn't even know what to do here, because he basically ruined her life. he ruined her life in a nutshell. So then he goes home, or to his not home, but he goes back to the dorm room, and C2 talks to him about this whole situation, and she basically antagonizes him from this point on. And I was kind of surprised she did this. She did this because and Narita, I thought they were getting closer, because she thanked him for thanking her essentially, and also saying her name, but I guess apparently she's still angry at him or antagonizing him for some reason. She mentioned, people die. Did you not know that and stuff? And what's I thought you were going to do the path of blood. And Lucy's like, yes, I was. I killed Clovis. Then she's like, okay, then why is Shirley bothering you so much? Which is true. Why is she bothering him? Because again, Lelouch, I guess, didn't figure this out. One note I made was that C2 says that where was it? I guess I didn't point it here, but when Tito's talking to Lelouch, she says, like, did you think this was a game? Like this real lives are at stake. And the reason why I think this is important is because when you compare him to, say, Light Yagami, for example, I don't think Light ever like got out of this stage when he was doing his role as Kira. I think he still thought it was some kind of game that he was playing where he couldn't lose, where there were no consequences for his actions. Where Lelouch had to really counter this early on with C2 and acknowledge the fact that what he's doing has these consequences. And sure, his sister and father were affected by it, but that was much later on in the story. He didn't take it well, by the way, either. It's kind of a random note. I just thought it was interesting that Lelouch had to basically deal with the reality of the fact that he was killing a lot of innocent people, even ones that he didn't, even family members or hurting family members too. He didn't think about that stuff. So she kind of brought this back to him and also manipulates him too, because she says when Lelouch falls on her. And by the way, there's a before I even mention what she says. Well, that part before that, she says that you're in far too deep to pull out now. And I was thinking that's funny because Lucia's on top of her. Was that on purpose, guys? I think it was. The wordage was kind of funny. She said, "You're in far too deep now to pull out," and he's literally on top of her, inciting something else. Anyhow, that's up to interpretation. But here, he's acting this way because C2 is like, "You're not going to disappoint me, are you?" And I'm like, "Whoa, is C2 forcing Luce to do this?" It was kind of weird. Like, she's trying to keep him on track, which I get, but she's also like, you know, you're still going to do this, right? Because of our contract. So C2, again, was very cold to Luce during this time. Considering all that happened with Shirley, this was not the right thing to do. And later on, when Shirley dies, C2 acts completely differently than when she was here, which again shows growth in the character and how she actually cares about Luce then, but doesn't now. We get the epic shower scene where Luce does this weird, I guess, bend, and he's like, and what's cool about this scene too is that he's thinking about everything that he's done so far. Killing Clovis, his sister, the path of blood. He thinks about what Suzaku said about the Black Knight. It's a really powerful scene. This shower scene is actually one of the best in the show because Lelouch basically reflects on everything he's done at this point and finds the resolve to keep going, despite the fact that he killed Shirley's father and hurt someone he cared about. So it's a really epic scene. Then we get to she's playing with Cheese Coon. Then we get to Colin's house, and I'm not sure if we see the image here. We don't, but there's a picture of her mother. And I remember early on, it had a sticker on the face. She removed the sticker because, again, she kind of forgives her mother, or at the very least, cares about her now. Here's Shirley's house. As you can see, it's gigantic. So whatever her father did for a living, he must have been well off. Maybe the mother too, I'm not sure. But look at this house. My God. She's like a regular Bruce Wayne over here. She meets Valletta. They don't show you the scene here. Later on. You'll see that she meets Valletta. So that's kind of interesting because, you know what happens because of that. What was the context in this scene? I don't even remember. Saying, well, like, I guess the Lancelot test, and Cecile's like, "What are you doing, Lloyd? Are you being inhuman again?" And he's like, "Fine, I'll stop." Then we get to poor Yokosuka, and so what happens here is a lot of manipulation. So they know that the JLF is escaping in the ship, and Ogi's like, "Okay, let's rescue the JLF." And Lucia's like, "What's our goal, Ogi? Defeat Britannia? Exactly. So we are going to kill Cornelia and stop her. What about JLF? Right. We'll rescue them. You sure? I promise we'll rescue them." Lelouch basically lied to him and everyone, the Black Knights. Oh, and Dieter Reed shows up because he's the one who gave the intel that they were going to take out the JLF. Kyle wanted to talk to Lelouch, but it's because obviously Lelouch, the whole situation with killing innocent people, but Zero had other things to do, like be emo in the hangar. So he does his thing. We get this really epic scene with Dalton. And it's very underrated, but I really love this part where Dalton says, "Look, I don't care who you are, where you come from, your background, doesn't matter to me. If you know how to fight and you're fighting for us, I don't care. I know Cornelia has a thing against numbers for some reason. I don't give a damn. If you know how to fight, you should join us." Dalton was like the most least racist character in the entire story who was up there in the officials besides like Euphemia. And it's a real shame what happens to him too. Like he didn't deserve that crap. Especially, since he was like with Lelouch when he was a kid. So infuriating how Dalton gets treated like crap in this story, even though he's one of the best characters in the story. So at least side characters, obviously. So then, of course, Suzaku is put on this mission to go take out the members of the JLF. He didn't realize it was going to be like Massacre, or Slaughter, but it is what it is. Then we get to the port Yokosuka, and then Shirley's kind of wandering around. Before that, they show you a flashback of her in this really strange-looking car talking to Valletta that Lelouch could be Zero. Now, here's the thing that Valletta screws up on, and I don't know why he didn't even notice. She didn't notice this. When she shows Shirley the picture of Lelouch, she is literally freaking out in this car right now. Okay, Valletta has to be the dumbest person in the show, or okay, she's not dumb. She's smart but dumb at the same time. It's weird. She's smart dumb because she was smart to pick someone from the. Well, she was smart to figure out that Lelouch was the one who was Zero. She figured that out. She was also smart to ask someone from the high school, specifically friends of Lelouch, to go identify him. But why would you ever pick the person who just lost her father to Zero? He basically went up there and said, "Hey, your best friend might have killed your dad. Want to help me get him?" And she's like, "What?" She was freaking out in the car, and she's like, "Yeah, this is gonna work out perfectly." God, Valletta screwed up so much during this. But yeah, Shirley follows Lelouch, who was carrying probably a really big bag, which was kind of suspicious. And so Valletta and Shirley basically tail Lelouch to Port Yokosuka, and this is by the way what I mentioned in my Lelouch versus Light video. I've referenced that several times now because this is another thing I mentioned, how the problem with Lelouch's character is that, and this could just be how Code Geass is written in general, but he's not really worried anyone's ever following him or onto him. Okay, he's got bigger plans in mind because he's trying to destroy Britannia. But like Shirley was literally following him and he had no idea. Same with like Valletta. He had no inclination that anyone was even looking after him. But like in Death Note, Light was aware that Pember was looking after him. Well, he wasn't aware. He actually didn't know either until Ryuk, I believe, pointed it out, if I'm not mistaken. But I still feel like Light had a better understanding of like the smaller scale aspects to his plans. Now, given how the fact that Light was in his room the whole time and everything was based in his house, I guess it's easier to focus on that when Lelouch, he has like several different home bases, and he's always doing a bunch of stuff. So he's kind of like not aware of things. Is what I'm trying to say. He's a little absent-minded because he never suspected Shirley was even looking after him or Valletta. But it is what it is. Okay, now we get to this scene. Now, this is what I keep alluding to this point like many times in this stream, but I want to bring this point home. So, Colin talks to Lelouch. Zero. She catches him off guard because he doesn't have his mask on. So she walks out, and Zero's like, "Got second thoughts?" And she says, "Is what we're doing really gonna make change? I can deal with the killing, but like, is it really gonna help?" And Zero says, "It has to, because." It has to, because if we don't continue, the lives have been for nothing. And here's the important part. He says, and I'm even going to get to the, I'll pull the transcript so I don't misquote him. He says the following right here. Let me get to my, hold up. Okay. I'm going to get the exact thing he says. Wait. Oh, no, this is wrong. I went to R2 for some reason. All around me. Okay. Let me try this again. Okay. So Lelouch says, come on, where is it? Yes. Will there be sacrifices? Not just soldiers, but the innocent as well. And the reason why that's important is because when he first declared his whole Black Knights, he specifically mentioned how they don't target innocent people. He said, even early on, like episode 4, we're not going to target innocents. We're going to leave those people alone. He said to everyone in the train car, I have the exact quote here. Yes, you should know your enemy. It is not people, but Britannia itself. It's a war you must wage, but not on the innocent. Take up your sword, fight for justice. So the point I'm trying to make here is that Lelouch said early on with the Black Knights, we are not going to hurt civilians, innocent people. Now he's saying we're going to have to hurt innocent people to end this war or to win this war. This is where Lelouch goes from like a hero to an anti-hero, because in one end he's saying that yes, we're not gonna hurt innocent people. Now he's like, you know what, we probably are gonna have to hurt innocent people now. And so I thought it was interesting that he changed on a dime like that. I guess he had no choice considering what happened to Shirley's father. And maybe the truth is he always felt this way, but he didn't really, again, until C2 talked to him about it, he didn't really understand that he was actually hurting innocent people no matter what he was doing. That could be why he told Colin this. But I thought it was interesting that he went from someone who was saying we won't hurt innocent people to now he's saying we're going to have to hurt innocent people. So, little interesting, little change of, I guess, strategy or philosophy, which was interesting to me. Anyhow, Colin's like, I'll be with you to the end. And then we get to this really, again, we have another great foreshadowing scene. We've had one in the last episode. We're having one in this episode too, where C2 says, she's thinking about what Lelouch said. You saved me. C2, I need you. And then she says, I can't make the same mistake again. And then it shows Mao. They've done this twice now. The first time they foreshadowed in the previous one where she's saying, like don't worry about me and Lelouch. We don't have that kind of relationship. And then it shows Mao. And then again, she says, I won't make that same mistake again. And it shows Mao. Really good stuff here. Basically hinting twice in the story that she actually had something with Mao. But if you didn't know who Mao was, which you shouldn't at this point, it surprised you later on when you learned the truth. But really good foreshadowing. I give the show credit there. Then we get to the whole Port Yokosuka Massacre. And Suzaku's pissed off they're killing innocent people, but Cecile lets him know that we're going to. It's you're a soldier, don't forget that. That was right here. Now, Ogi knows, and so does everyone else, that the Toto won't get there in time. And by the way, I forgot to mention in the last episode, they said that the Toto lost his custom Borais, which they never explained what happened to the custom Borais. I guess I don't know. They lost them in combat. And they didn't say what was the reason, but there you go. Anywho, so we get this part where Ogi's like, hey, I thought you were going to say the JLF. And Lucha's like, we're going to. I promise we're going to say the JLF. I promise. Okay, when are you going to do that? And even he's like, Kyoto said they would send help, and they did, which was the Black Knights. But unfortunately, Lucha's like, yeah, I'm just going to, all right. So he blows up the ship, killing Katase and killing some Britannian soldiers, and they used it as a trap so they could take out the Britannians by surprise, specifically Cornelia. And we get this part where it was kind of messed up because he said, what was it? Katase killed himself, and to honor their sacrifice, whatever, we're gonna, take out Cornelia, avenge them. And Colin's like, right. She was basically brainwashed to believe that nonsense when Luch basically lied to her and the entire Black Knights, which probably explains again later on why she was upset during the reveal Luch was Zero the whole time. Because again, he betrayed everybody. Anyways, the only guy who was aware of what was going on was Dietar Reed. He was saying, yes, this whole situation was a live trap. Zero is completely insane. He's chaos incarnate. Show me more. Show me more. I love this scene of Dietar. He's so funny. You want his whole motivations in one shot. This is it. Everyone from Suzaku and Ogi realized this makes no sense. Why would he kill himself? And again, Dietar's like, he didn't. Lelouch killed him. They eventually break in with the boat and take out all the nightmare frames by throwing them into the sea. Now, unfortunately for them, Cornelia actually still got in her nightmare frame just in time, but they attacked her when she powered off, or before she powered on. But even when she powered on, she still took out Lucia's nightmare frame because she was just, she's really talented, as we know. That's a little head there. Oh yeah, so Colin joins into the fight, and because Colin's fighting Cornelia, she couldn't help Lelouch against Suzaku, which we know is it's a 7th generation versus a 6. or I'm sorry, a fifth, and there was no chance. Burai, especially Luch, you being a bad pilot, but even still, Burai's don't stand a chance. And Sako again is like, you're nothing but a murderer. Now, weird enough in this scene, I don't have an image of it. Yeah, here it is. The Luch, they have blue here. Now, we know there's been purple and green colors when Luch is in the Zero outfit, but why blue? I don't know, it's weird. And as far as I know, this is the only other time we see blue in the series. Anywho, so Zaku takes out Lelouch, and Lelouch does something really stupid here, which I doesn't surprise me because he's like the worst Nightmare Frame pilot in the series, but he basically took the slash Harkin, he farted straight into the air, I guess into some cart, and he blasted himself off, in the air at high speeds. And all Suzaku had to do was knock him, like just interfere, and he flew. What you see here, he smashed against the crates. I'm thinking the whole time that was your big plan, your big brain plan to escape from Suzaku. You were going to send yourself flying really high in the air because nothing ever happens when you're high in the air, right? And Suzaku basically nearly killed him. Really stupid stuff on Zero's part. That was really stupid. And Suzaku again owns Lelouch, which is pretty common in Nightmare Frame combat, even given the differences in specs. Eventually, Colin comes in to help out, but it's too late at this point. Zero's already screwed. Unfortunate for him, Shirley happens to walk in. She finds the gun, points at him, and sees that Lelouch as Zero, and the episode just ends. Ooh. Good cliffhanger, by the way. One of the best cliffhangers in the story. She learns the truth, and unlucky for Lelouch, or lucky for Lelouch, Shirley found him and not Cornelia. And now that's 13. Again, it's not the most eventful episode in Code Geass. You do have the poor Yokosuka, but that's kind of it, honestly. And the funeral scene. Those are the only two major things that happened in this episode. Still good though. I liked it. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, poor Yokosuka is one of the most important parts of the story. It leads to Valletta's memory loss. It leads to the mouse situation. All that awful things that, well, I know awful, but some of it was important parts of the story. Okay, how are we doing? 1 hour and a half. Okay, I'm gonna change my my battery real quick, and when I do that, we'll be back. So don't go anywhere. I promise I'll be right back. And I'm gonna also, I didn't do it before. I'm gonna put a comment right here saying I'm changing my battery, so people know what's going on. I'm not changing my battery. I have my keyboard over here for my setup. One second. Back in the flash. Okay. All right. Now I will put the banner on, which I'll one day animate. think that's good. Okay. I think that's good. I'll remove this banner. We don't need that. Okay. All right, let's go through some of these comments. I don't know how far back I have to go, but we'll see. Actually, I need some water. My voice is becoming hoarse. Opening 2 is straight up trash. I'm not sure how people love it. I used to want to see Illusion. Well, I mean, yeah, I agree. The second opening is not good. It's, you know what it is, the tone and like the tone and the song. I don't know. It was a big change from Flow. I'll say that much. I used to want to see Lucian and Shirley get together, but if we were being honest, Shirley is too sweet for him. Lucian seems to have a similar amount of strength and flaws. Yeah, I definitely would admit that Shirley's probably too good for him. But she was willing to be with him despite all his awful. Oh, awful is the wrong word. His, I guess, his strong characteristics, personality. You know what I'm saying. C2's a better match for Lelouch, but Shirley, I think, could still work because she's trying to make his life happy, and Lelouch, let's be honest, doesn't have a happy life. We know why. It even hinted Jeremiah's alive. Yeah. No, I'll say one thing about this show. It's got a lot of good foreshadowing. Go through the episodes again now if you know everything, and you're going to see that the show actually does tell you, not always directly, but subtly, that there's actually, think about this stuff. Keep this back in your mind. It'll come up later. And you're like, oh, yeah, Kyoto, Todo, right? Rakshata, now Mao. I mean, there's tons of foreshadowing. R.I.P. Shirley's dad. We only get to see him in a brief flashback. And also, we see him in Stage 8 during the hostage rescue. He's talking to the press saying, my daughter Shirley is there, and, these people, why are they doing this to her? She did nothing wrong. We see him twice. But yes. Best dad in the show. How about the only dad in the show? Lucius' dad's off. Okay. Besides Lucius' dad, we don't see Colin's father, but he's terrible. Suzaku's father was also bad. Yeah, dads in Code Geass doesn't mix, so it's nice to have a good father for once. I agree. Definitely the best dad in the show. Just by hearing a couple sex to it, I'm like, ew. The fans are like, yes, made no sense. The OP for 2 was a dog crap, but apparently has 4.2 million views on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. I at least like the animations they had, like the new one of the Lancelot flying in the air and Suzaku spinning with Euphemia. I like that part, but the song, fast-paced energy. Yeah, there is, but the song though, ooh. This ending song, Mosaic Kikaria, yeah, that's good. Much better than the new one they have with the guy from Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know his name. He's a good singer. He also did Psychopaths as well, but it just didn't fit Code Geass. Do you think Suzaku gets too hate because of his naive hypocrisy? Yeah. Short answer, yes. That's pretty much it. Because the whole thing with Suzaku, and I understand the argument. I'm not one of those guys I'm not one of those people who said or who has one point of view and doesn't look at others. I understand why people hate Suzaku because he's a hypocrite from their point of view. And yes, there's a lot of hypocrisy because he will condemn the Black Knights for committing atrocities, but he looks past Britannia's atrocities. But the reason why he resolves that in his mind by suggesting that Britannia is not going to go anywhere. So if we want to stop the Britannia atrocities, we can't make our own atrocities. We have to instead go through the system of Britannia, through the military ranks, and once we do that, then we can make real change. That's Zaku's point in a nutshell. Now, will that have actually worked or not is debatable, but that was his point of view. Some people think that's hypocrisy. Again, it's all a matter of perspective. Saku was a great character, one of the best parts of the story of the show. Lush and Saku both make good arguments. Yes, that's very true. This episode has only Lelouch, the shower scene in the show. Come on, Code Geass. You put the female characters in tons of fan service scene. They're version down for Suzaku and Lelouch. Suzaku in the last episode put water on his head, I guess. Okay, that's probably a good example. But yeah, there's not much fan service for Lelouch. But I will say Code Geass does sexualize the men as well. and especially in R2, and in like their official art, which I will not show for sake of your eyes. Anyways, Lloyd is the best comedy relief in this show. Yes, Lloyd is not only the best comedy relief, he is the savagest character in the story. He picks apart everyone's logic and reasoning. Like he flips it on them, like the Black Knights, Suzaku's philosophy. I mean, Lloyd has to just say one thing and it all falls apart. The problem with Lloyd is he's a sociopath, so he doesn't understand that what he's saying could actually hurt someone emotionally. He doesn't understand. He just does his thing. Dalton got thrown right under the bus in R1's finale. Yeah, it was really depressing. It's very sad too because if you guys know, I'll get the photo out here. In the very beginning of the film, the first recap movie. I hope I have the image. If I don't, I can pull the movie. I want to show you something. Like when Lucia's being exiled. Ugh, I don't have it. All right, 1 second. I have to show you this. This is why I was so upset about this. My computer's. I'm going to like my big hard drive, so it takes a couple seconds. Okay. For some reason, open it twice. That was weird. Okay, so we go to Code Geass, first film. Hopefully the sound's not going. Okay. So the very first film, hold on. So you watch very carefully. Okay, watch carefully. Euphemia, she wanted to stop the Lucia being exiled. It's too bad she couldn't do anything. There's Clovis, by the way. There's Nadia, and there's Maribel. I guess Schneizel wasn't present here, which was weird. But anyhow, if we... so when Lucia's exiled, yeah, Euphemia's really upset. It actually kind of hurts. But during the exile, watch very carefully. That's Dalton, by the way. See Dalton here? He is really upset. And that's Jeremiah, by the way, upset as well. And the fact that Luke treated both like crap in the story really upsets me because both these guys loved the royal family. They were very loyal to them. And like Lucia's treatment to Dalton was just disgusting. Look at this. They didn't want them to be sent away. So it's always upsets me how Dalton was just treated like complete crap in the story. I love the outfit Lucia's wearing too. It's very he's got good swag going. But yeah, it's really upsetting. When he declared to fight L, and Nier said, "Very well, I'll accept the challenge," and he mentioned, "I'll come out and play if you will." Yeah, exactly. It was a game, not real life. These people. I don't know if we're gonna have gone over this, but do you think Cornelia hates the numbers because she believes they took Lucian away from her? No, I think she just no. That's not what it is. She told Euphemia in stage 17, I believe it was, our policy is to be prejudiced against the numbers. It's just policy of Britannia, and she follows it to the T. She believes in her father's message. She never talks to him in the story, but she believes in that whole supremacy, inequality. The numbers are inferior people. She believed in that. She drank the Kool-Aid, if you will. Because during that speech that Charles made in episode 6, Cornelia is like in awe of what he's saying. So she's just following principle. She believes in this, and it's the policy of Britannia to do it. So if that's another possibility, I wouldn't know. Do you think they should have kept Dalton around R2? If so, how would you do it? How would you do it? Just don't kill him. I don't know. Have him as... I'm not sure how Dalton would have changed anything in R2. He would have been around to help out Cornelia. Maybe he was too close to the truth, but I don't know. Why not? In terms of his role in the story, it'd be about the same. He'd still be helping out Cornelia in combat. Could you imagine him with a new nightmare frame? That could have been awesome. Of course, they say with Dalton, he loses his son later on too, and David, who also got Geass, by the way, because Luce, it's a family matter with him. Yeah, I agree. It was the father's bigoted views that impacted judgment. Exactly, agreed. He was aware of all the agents after iOS were spying on Lelouch when he was supposed to have his memories erased. Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. He was aware they were spying on him, but I think that was more obvious because of the given situation that his memories were erased. I think he figured that one out a little easier given his circumstance. With his mind being erased, that people might be following him and stuff. Because again, they wanted to get C2, so that kind of made sense. But with the early part in the show, he wasn't aware that Valletta or Shirley were even following him. In fact, Lelouch probably never checked anyone to see if they were following him on his way to Black Knight duty. Theoretically, if Valletta and Shirley were patient, they could have followed Lelouch to the van, the Black Knight base, and that would have been over with it. Or it would have been over. But yes, definitely later on, Lelouch was more cautious, but early on, not so much. If Dylan's were R1, I think he would have been one of the threats to Black Knights and fought Zero instead of Guilford. Yeah, that probably would have happened, which would have been cool. I don't know if it's just me, but the episode of Valletta feels like a mustache twirling villain, especially when she acted all gleefully after figuring out Zero's identity. Well, the thing about Valletta is that, remember, she lost her role, or her status because of Jeremiah's foolishness. It wasn't really Jeremiah's fault, but you know what I'm saying. So because she lost her status, she was so desperate to reclaim her, to rank higher, or I guess go up in ranks to a baroness. So she was going to get that with Jeremiah, but since she wasn't now because of what happened, she was so excited to finally go back to that point. Trilling a mustache trilling villain. I don't know. I mean, she was just really excited and happy. I think she was more happy that she was right. You know, it's always exciting when you have a theory about something and you test it out and you're proven to be correct. It's always a very rewarding experience. I wouldn't think much more into it, but it's definitely it's not a valid observation. I just never thought about it. Yeah, I think with Guilford, I was about to mention that in R1, Lelouch uses Geass on Dalton to mess him up, and then in R2, he uses Geass on Guilford to mess him up. Maybe that's why they did it that way. So both characters got ruined by Lelouch in the two different seasons. Other than that, I'm not sure why they killed off Dalton. When Lelouch mentions Innocence episode 13, he's talking about Innocence dying in the crossfire. Unattended deaths. Maybe that was the case with Narita, but it's just the one he say, innocent people that get caught in the crossfire or unintended consequences. He didn't. That wasn't the impression I got. And given what happens after Narita, where Lucia's a little more, not as careful about hurting people, I don't think that's the case. I mean, if you look at even the last conflict in the story with the Black Rebellion, I mean, he killed so many innocent people by collapsing the Tokyo settlement. Mostly soldiers, but he did kill civilians because there could be people on the bridges, and obviously the people running that stuff were killed right when he commanded them to collapse it, for example. So it wasn't like I get that, but I interpret his words by saying, or one more time, I interpret his words to mean that he was going to use civilians or hurt innocent people if he has to at this point. Obviously, it's not like he's not going to immediately do that, right? Not the first option. But I thought that he was changing his perspective now, or his philosophy, that I'm actually going to target innocent people if I have to, because at the end of the day, no one's really safe from this, and everyone gets affected anyway. So if I have to do it, I'll do it. I can't, I said I was going to go on the path of blood. I better stick to that. And I'm sure later on in the episode, we'll see how Lelouch, again, was a little careless with how he was targeting the soldiers, specifically Britannian soldiers. Anywho, but I mean that's true too. I mean, I know Lelouch wouldn't target innocent people if he didn't have to. It was interesting how he changed his perspective from innocence, we won't hurt them, till innocence might have to die, or will die, rather. I love when Detard joined the Black Knights. Having a great character, or a character as villainous as him in Team of Heroes was fascinating. And Detard also was a Britannian, obviously, so his perspective on the world was different than, say, the Japanese. So when he fights with Toto about, philosophy, is very interesting. It's very interesting. It's one of the best parts of the series when Detard provides his Britannian elitist ideology with the Japanese philosophy. It's interesting. Some of the best conversations come from that conversation or those various conversations. I thought maybe not hurting innocence was for the facade of having a public opinion in favor of the Black Knights. Yeah, but he told that to but remember he told that to the Ogi, Colin, the two other people. I think yeah, not, I'm not even gonna pretend those two people were with him on the train. He told them we're not gonna hurt innocent people. I'm not talking about like the whole broadcast he did in Stage 8. I'm talking like he told literally Colin Ogi on the train, just the five of them, that we're not gonna hurt innocent people. That's why I don't know if it was entirely a facade. I think he really meant that. And that's why Shirley was upset too, obviously, because, if they're not going to hurt innocent people, why kill my father? This is just speculation. But did you believe that Toto and the Holy Swords didn't come to rescue Katsue because they know JLF is doomed as a whole, or they didn't come or late? They just didn't know, or it came late. No, because remember when Katsue died, Toto didn't want to fight anymore. When he was captured protecting the rest of the Holy Swords, he told Lelouch, like, look, I was loyal to Katsuse, and now that he's dead, I have no reason to live. And Lelouch had to basically motivate him to keep fighting. So no, they definitely, if they could have been there, they would have been there. Now here's a better question. Why weren't they there? What were they doing in the meantime? Like, why wouldn't they be with Katsuse in retreating? I always assumed that after the Battle of Narita, when Britannia fled, then Toto joined up with the JLF and helping them escape. That's the real question. What happened to Toto? Why wasn't he there? But yes, I could I never thought of that before because, again, 17, but I think that they just came late. The real question is, where the heck were they? Do you ever get Valletta's reaction to Lelouch end up being a prince rather than just another Britannian? Like, did she know in R2 when she was tasked with spying on Lelouch? Did she ever know he was a Britannian? I mean, a prince? I don't think she ever knew that. I'm trying to think now because she knew he was a Britannian student. I don't think she ever knew his true identity, as far as I know. Maybe R2 it came up. It's been a while. I don't. If it happened, it was like a throwaway conversation because I don't recall her specifically discussing how Lelouch was a prince. Yeah, it's not ringing a bell. Maybe it happened. It's been a while, or not been a while. I didn't listen to a specific conversation on that. Hey, that's my message. Okay, the most reaction we get from her is when Lelouch confronts Rollo. Then her early on R2. Can't remember exactly what she said about it was her birthday. I'm not sure what the context was. We're talking with Shirley, I think. But it's more reaction to him regaining his memories. I guess that would indicate she knows he lost memories, so she likely knows who he is. I must have short-term memory because I don't know what the context of that was. We don't end up having Suzaku rise in ranks, but from what does it do you think would help Valletta? I think she became a baroness. It looks like instead she leveraged her knowledge of Zero into a secret spy role. I think she's lucky that they didn't just kill her. Yeah, that's true. She wasn't fought. She wasn't. They didn't find her. I assume as well, if her plan succeeded, maybe Lelouch might have killed herself if he figured it out. I'm not following this. If her plan succeeded, but maybe Lelouch might have killed her. Might have killed her if he figured it out. Yeah, maybe. I assume we're talking about with Shirley there. Yeah, I don't think he knew. She knew. I think the reason why Schneizel wasn't present for Lelouch's exile is that he could care less. Probably not. Doesn't mean Odysseus and Gneva didn't care about Lelouch's exile. Probably. Also said how Maribel could have been sad since apparently she had a relationship with Lelouch. Yeah, and Oz reflection, they're kind of close. I mean, she never served Lelouch during his reign, and she did. Yeah, she served him, and wasn't she under? She got a Geass from V2, if I'm not mistaken. And just like Lelouch, I believe her family was also killed off by some terrorists or something. her mother specifically, because after all, she's Charles' daughter, but Charles has like a bunch of wives. The thing that Lelouch didn't know that Jeremiah Dalton didn't know. I think that Lelouch didn't know Jeremiah Dalton personally. It's not that Lelouch goes after Jeremiah and says, "Hey, Jeremiah, did you want to join me in my cause?" This is just my guess. Yeah, that's probably true. It's like, but here's the thing, though. Even if he didn't know them personally, he still saw them there, right? I mean, they didn't look like they were happy about the situation. Even if he didn't know Jeremiah Dalton personally, he knows that he saw them at the event itself, and they weren't happy about it. Maybe he blames them for not doing anything about it. That could also be the case, but I still think Dalton deserved better. Anywho, V2 apparently ruined Marilo's life by bombing her mom and sister. Wait, that was V2? Oh, all right. I haven't read Oz's. I didn't get a chance to read Oz's reflection that far in, so okay. They didn't really translate that. That should be more accurate. They didn't translate it. That's let's see. Before I go on to Jezero Code gameplay, actually, let me change the pattern real quick. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything else that I forgot to mention here. Let's see. It's everything I got. Yeah, that's everything. Okay. That's what I got for that. All right, let's go to Jezero Code. And I got some stuff to show you for that. Let me close a bunch of stuff. Close this out. I don't want the game to like lag. Close this out. Close this out. I had the videos prepared because I had to use them, but of course I didn't have to use them because is what it is. Okay. I'll close out too. We're not using the notes. Actually, we'll keep it in. All right, here we go. What the hell happened? That was weird. Oh, I probably shouldn't have this. I guess I had it out open too long. That's why it crashed on me. I don't know. That was bizarre. For the Brando, let's see if we can get this like thinner. Yeah, I don't want you guys to get distracted by that. Okay. V2 was doing terrorism, all the terrorism against the royal family. I knew about Lucius, but I didn't know everyone else's. That makes sense. V2 was god awful. Look, he didn't want Charles. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, because he didn't want Charles distracted by other women. So obviously, killing all the parents or the mothers made sense. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna change the settings of my sounds. Yes, you. Hopefully, you now hear the game better. All right, I have all the characters unlocked. Cecile, hold on. I have all the characters not unlocked, but I have all the ones that I have unlocked. I have their alternative forms. So let's go through those real quick. Here's the first one. Here's Cecile's. It's pretty cool. You see her in her like with Lloyd with some random thing she made. Here's Tamaki, everyone's favorite character. He looks like an idiot, let's be honest. Yeah, this confirms he doesn't care about his family. Well, why would he? He only cares about killing God. So, of course not. Anyway, that's Tamaki. Here's Saiko's. They have her ninja outfit from R2. Do you think Ryu, Aino, Yukio would be good members of the Black Knights if they joined? Yeah, why not? They were good in yeah, they probably would have been. I don't know if they would join the Black Knights, but then again, they did things pretty rough too, so probably. You know, that's actually they might have joined them. And if they did, they probably would have been good. I mean, Ryu is fantastic. Yukia is kind of he's a loose cannon. I don't know if I want Yuki on my team. All right, here's Ogi's. I assume he's looking at either Valletta or he's looking at Colin and Nagato. I can't tell. Tamaki, stop acting like a shonen protagonist. Tamaki does have fans. I saw a video that they put on him, top 10 favorite character list. Wow, okay. There's Ogi. Here's Toto from Oz Reflection. She gets a Geass from V2 later on, if I'm not mistaken. She's one of the Glinda Knights, hence the red outfit. Here's Futaba from Rania of Darkness. This is a famous scene in the manga where she's on a boat. And then an octopus grabs her. Actually, that's a squid. A squid grabs her. It's a very funny scene. I think Ren uses his arm to kill the squid. She had epic moments in the story. I would not have, if you asked me like what I would have picked for her alternative image, it would not have been this one. Also, minor nitpick, but she's wearing like no clothing. Why is she in the freaking cold? The creators of the show, insane. Well, in Akira the Exile, Akira, they had never heard that they have heard of the Black Knights. Well, it took place between R1 and R2, so they definitely did. Here's Klaus from the Arthur of the Misty Streets. As you see, he's a drunk because he's got this cantina, but also this gun. He's pretty cool. I'm actually pretty excited for when they do this story, which they still haven't done yet. But there's that. And by the way, we're going to do a summon of a 4-star character, so they're really exciting. I don't know who it's going to be, so we'll get that after I do all the characters. Well, and also C's World, but stick around, it's really cool. All right, here's D-Tard. This is a really cool. I love this image because you see Zero in the background, and he's just like kind of sitting there by the newsroom. This is a perfect image of D-Tard. Well done on their part. Here's Cornelia. Now, one with Cornelia, and maybe it's just me, guys, but was she like, her outfit wasn't as revealing, was it, in the original anime? I don't think so. And this one was definitely, like, this is a complete over-exaggeration of her outfit. Now, in her outfit in R2, yes, you definitely see a lot. But this one, it's like, I'm pretty sure Cornelia wasn't shown this way in the original anime, but it's still a cool image because of, the Gloucester in the background. Her Gloucester, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like how they did that. I think it's kind of a little insulting, but whatever. Cornelia was treated that way anyway, so it's not fine, but it is what it is. Toto was basically Charles, but only thing different, she can't create alter memories or erase. That's right. Thoughts on the whole Jeremiah X Sayako shipping? I don't have any. I didn't know that was a thing. The image detail was awesome. Yes, it was. And speaking of Jeremiah, check this out. This is when he becomes, Cyborg Jeremiah or Cyber Jeremiah. Pretty cool stuff right there. This is a cool one too. There's like a little flame in the background. All right, then we have Shirley, and I hate this one of Shirley. Like, Shirley's really cute here. This is actually, considering all their characters got, like, I think treated horribly, this one's actually pretty good. But if you flip her, you get this. Not a fan of this. I would have done something. I mean, I guess they thought it was cute when she did that one episode where she was the what was it called, when she was doing the whole swim club thing in turn 5, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of this one at all. We got Nunnally. Here's her alternative. It's great. She has Arthur, and Arthur is really excited too. So a really good image. Here's Mao behind the Tokyo settlement, or in front of the bureau, I mean. Then flip them, and you get this. This is from, a little preview for next week, because we're going to talk about Stage 15. This is from Stage 15, where he cuts up the screen. Look at those Geass in his eyes, and the chainsaw. Crazy mother chucker. Here's Toto. This is probably my favorite image in the whole game. It's just so cool. He's got the sword, And he also has the Gekka, actually, not the Zangetsu, the Gekka in the background. It should be the Zangetsu. There's even, if you look further, there's another image in the background too. It's like a double layered image. See, there's the Gekka there and the Gekka here, and then you have Todo. Really cool stuff. Here's Gino. Now this one is like, I don't know how I feel about it because he's in the Tristan here, and it's kind of creepy, you know? Like, I think he's a cool character, Gino, but like, it's a very creepy shot of him. I mean, Gino always has like funny expressions that he makes during the story, but like, this isn't funny. This is creepy. I would have preferred in this case, you know how like Shirley, let's go back to that real quick. See, she's really like relaxed, having a good time. I would have done that for Gino here, because this image of Gino here is kind of disturbing. Would you like to see Lelouch/Zero movie, but in style and tone of Joker 2019 film? The movie would be called Zero. Considering Code Geass as shonen, would that even work? It's not a bad idea. It could work. Okay, here's the one alternative one that I have a lot of reservation about. Ayanos. Now, her pose here is already, suspect. It is what it is. But when you flip it, look at this. Do I have to even say anything about this? It's like, I'm not saying she didn't look like this when she was wearing her outfit, but I don't recall her ever doing this pose. I said ever like 3 times there. But I don't recall her doing this specific pose wearing this specific outfit. If it were me, I would have picked a moment where she saved, everyone's butt when she prevented Jean-Ro from helping Shin, destroy everyone with the Apollo's chariot. Or perhaps the scene when she helps out Yukiya. Or when she was in space. That was a cute scene. But, this was the W0 unit outfit she was wearing when she piloted the Alexander, and she does have it open up. Like, if you go through the story, and I'll 1 second. I closed all my windows. I'm an idiot. 1 second. I mean, this is not inaccurate, but like, if you take a look at I'll give you an example when she looked like that. If you go to the 3rd OVA in the very beginning, give me a second. Yeah. You see, her outfit was open. Like, it's not inaccurate to the story. It's just that they chose that pose. Like, see, she's by the bars here, but I don't recall her ever leaning over on them. See, she's not leaning over the bars. I know it's a real weird nitpick. Here's another part too. Hold on. Let's see. See, again, she didn't close her shirt the whole time. There's also a part where they're with the old ladies. Where is it? The gypsies. Again, opened, and then the best one though was, hold on, we're almost there. Almost there. No, right here. So it was opened up. That's not the problem to me. It's just that they chose this pose. She probably couldn't close her shirt. I have no idea. Okay. Anyways, enough of this. Here's Yukiya's. Yukiya's is really creepy. Look at this. Very creepy stuff. Here's Ryu's. This is from the gypsies grabbing him because they grew up with him a lot in the in Agate Exiled. I got 0, by the way, and here's the alternative. It's really cool. This is probably one of my favorite ones in the game. Besides Toto's, this one's really cool. You have the Black Knight thing in the background, the symbol, and you also have Lelouch to 0 just posing. It's really cool stuff. Here's Lelouch. Here's his alternative. It's really cool too. There's like Wayne in the background. Here is Aldrin. This is from Oz the Reflection. Her alternative, I'm not a fan of it. It kind of looks, well, the art style was bizarre. Like, it doesn't fit Code Geass. Why didn't she close her shirt? I guess she didn't want to. But if you see, like if you change the perspective from that to this, see, this looks like Code Geass, and then this is like some kind of Moe story. I don't know. It's like she looks like she's 12 years, like 11 years old here. So I personally don't like this alternative. I just keep her looking like this. Then we get to Zio. Hold on. He's a new character from, he's from Zio the End, obviously. He's basically, if I summarize in a nutshell, he's basically Darth Maul. He's a Jedi. He has like a lightsaber, as you see right here, and he actually can dual wield. He's really cool. I got this character and I was like, who is this guy? I was really insulted. I wanted Akito or Renya, but he's really powerful in this game. Like if you're playing Janissary Code and you get Zio, you'll be very happy. He's like the best defender in the game. I don't know. Isn't it weird? Like Alderun's like 16, 17 here. Then you flip it and she's like 10. It's really weird. This is one of the worst ones they did in my eyes. Okay, here's Zio, and if you flip him, you have, this is a really cool alternative thing, too. It's kind of creepy. This person next to him, I think it's a girl, because she has, like, I think it is a girl. They work together in combat, which is awesome. Here's Al. He's the main protagonist of the story. This is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. This is pretty cool. I guess so, Ryan. I guess Olderun is 18, but in real life is 10. Yeah, they're trying to make her look cute, but I agree. I don't think it worked. That's pretty cool though. It's the cool one. And then we get the Gigis, or Gigi's. Ugh, I hate this one. It's so uncomfortable to look at. I mean, what is she doing? What is she doing here? I don't know. Here's Valletta's. 1 second. Valletta is her in her nightmare frame, which is kind of cool. They obviously zoomed up with the right area. Then we get to Guildford. He looks pretty cool there. And then we get to Cecile. So that's everyone I've got so far, and their alternate forms. If you go to C's World, check this out. This is pretty cool. All my characters are such a high level now that they actually hang around in C's World. So let's zoom in. Hold on. Okay. See? We have Lelouch talking to Cecile. There's Toto. Cornelia is looking over the edge. She's contemplating. I'm not going to say what, but you already know. So we have Zero and we have Lelouch together. It's kind of funny. Mellie's fine. Looks like Zio has some AD problems over here. There's Gigi hanging around. Let's see. There's Futaba. Okay, there's Toto. Mao's over there. They shouldn't allow him on C's World, but they had no choice. Olderun's hanging out. And what's cool is if you oh, there's Gino. What's cool is if you leave C's World, you'll see different people. You can't get all of them at one time, which is kind of annoying, but you can get them, like if I was to exit out, right, and I go back in, there'll be different people here. So let me zoom in real carefully. See, now Shirley's here. She wasn't there before. Let's see, anyone else? There's Yukiya. There's Klaus. Gino was there before. Gigi was there before. I think Al should be here. Futaba, Cornelia, Mao, Cecile. Yeah, you can't have all of them at one time. There's Zero. So it's kind of cool. How would you rank Zero's outfit from worst to best? R1, R2, Resurrection, Nightmare, Nunnally. I like his Resurrection one the most. Because it had like references to when he was Emperor. It had like the little the little emblem that was on his hat, for example. Yeah, there's C's World. A lot of people are living here now. Okay, now the fun stuff. We are going to do a summon. This is going to be a level 4 summon. I've been waiting all week for this. I was going to do it during the week, but I was like, you know what? We'll do it on camera. Because that way, I'll get a character I want. I'm actually not, but you know how this works. Okay, I wanted to get the sound up. Alright, here we go, guys. We are now going to do a 4-star summon. Please, please, please be Akito or Renya. I don't want Totsuya, I don't want Orpheus, and I don't want Arthur. Alright, here we go. Ready? Let's do this. Gigi. C2. Here we go. Alright. Please be Akito, Renya. Just not those other characters, forgot. We're crying out loud. Who is it? Please, please, please be Akito. Are you serious? I already have Lelouch. Oh. Are you kidding me? Great, I can level up now. Thank you. That's why I hate this damn game sometimes. I worked so hard to get all the tickets I needed to get to unlock a new character, and I get a duplicate. That's even worse. I would have rather had Totsuya or Orpheus or Arthur or anybody. A duplicate. Get the heck out of here. Alright, calm down. It's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. I can at least rank him up one, so let's do it. Fudge this. I'm so pissed off. You know how hard to get golden tickets, rainbow tickets in this game? You have to complete, like... You gotta get every character level 10, and then do some more side tasks as well. Like, it's not easy to get those tickets and defeat bosses. Unbelievable. What's wrong with Orpheus? I mean, he's Lelouch, but skillful and has good combat skills. There's nothing wrong with the character. I wanted Akito or Renya. Because Renya is the best attacker in the game, and I've been stuck at this Halloween contest for the last several days because I can't get past one boss, which shouldn't be too hard. So it's more like, yeah, it was... Alright, let's do another summon. I'll do some silvers, because I have some. Alright, let's do that. I have to get Lloyd. I still don't have him yet, so maybe we'll get Lloyd. Let's see. Alright, this is crap. Already fail. If you don't see anyone, it's failed. She's trying to hype me up, but she's totally full of it. It's not going to be anyone good. Here we go. All that work. All that work for a duplicate Lelouch. I'm so pissed. Alright, I got Futaba. Oh well, I ain't the worst thing. I don't hate Futaba. I get some points to level her up. Alright, let's do it again. Yep, one more silver ticket. Can we please get, maybe we'll get Lloyd? Nope. Crap. It's a fail. Yeah, why duplicate? I don't know, dude. Yeah, Ren is the best fighter, I believe, in the game. So I wanted him and Zio, the best team to win, but I got Lush instead, so whatever. Sucks for me, I guess. Who is it this time? D-Tard. Yay. Thanks, D-Tard. Thanks, D-Tard. Alright, that's that. I'm gonna have to wait. I'll have to wait next week to get another level 4 summon. Garbage. You give me freaking a duplicate. Here's the Halloween stuff if you're wondering. So we have like the new code links. God, what's with this pose? But where is it? This is Lucia's new outfit. There's Nunnally, and you also can get a new version of Gigi. The problem is that the boss fight is so bullcrap. If we had Naruto and a Jedi on our team, it's already Ultimate Team. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. But no, we had to get a duplicate Lelouch. Unbelievable. You should not get duplicates like... I understand why they have duplicates in the game, because you can use them to improve other stats. But come on, really? The more... I mean, there were so many level 4s in the game, and you couldn't give me just a new one. God, I'm so pissed. Alright, I'll play some Halloween gameplay for you guys. So see, here's the thing, right? I'm stuck at this point here. See, my fighting strength is 76. I need 81 to win. I don't have 81. That's why I'm still screwed. And I don't have enough energy to level up my characters either. So I'm pretty much, yeah, it kind of sucks. I think I can get like a, yeah, I got one little award I can pick up. That's it though. Okay. See, these tickets, they're hard to come by. See, I used to think it was one ticket gets you one level 4, but no. You need 10 tickets. And most of my characters are already level 10. So, like, I'm running out of opportunities to get more of these darn tickets. I'll stop ranting, but man, am I pissed. Okay, let's try this battle. It's not going to go well, but we'll try it anyways. Let's see. Uronaki's Olderin because I like her, but she's not that great. Nully's much better. She's a tank. Ayano and Zio are excellent shields. I'll give her... Oh, it actually does help her out. Oh, so I'll give her this one. And then for Gigi, I will give her this one. For the Lelouch, I will give him... Actually, that's a good choice. And then for Ayano... what does she have currently? What does this one give her? I guess that's fine. And then for Zio... I don't think he needs to really be a shield for this. He needs to be more aggressive. Alright, let's get destroyed. Let's do it. Nina is not a playable character at this time. And I hope to God she never is one. But she will, you know, because they want to get like a million characters in this game. But Duplicates doesn't have a purpose. It can be a Xenoverse to level up a different fights, but Tickets gets a different new character. Yeah, the Duplicates, like, you get, like, what you can do is you can buy, like, certain, what's it called? These things for each character. And you can use these things to increase the stats, which is nice and all. But when I'm cashing in 10 rainbow tickets, which took me a whole week to accumulate, well... a couple days actually, because I kind of hacked the system a little bit, but it still takes a while to get that stuff. And there is a limit because I have like maybe 30 characters at this point, and I have like maybe 15 tickets already because I got 15 to level 10. So at the max possibility, I might get another maybe 15 more tickets, and that's it. You know, like the well is dry to that point. My only other means to get instant 4s is to either use my own real money, which, you know, screw that, or spend my Geass shards, which I can't do because I need that to, you know, play this game. Don't worry, the review for this game is coming up soon too. I have a lot of things to say about this game, positive and negative. Speaking of negative, let's get destroyed. Actually, hold on. Did the volume up? Here's the Halloween stuff. Oh god, no, he's almost dead in the first round. No! Oh god, we're not ready. Bismarck, help us. Thanks, buddy. Bismarck's Geass makes everyone dodge. See, you see Zio? He's got 2 lightsabers. He's so badass. Nina. I mean, oh, damn it. Okay. See, Gigi's really powerful in this game. Not my Gigi, her Gigi, their Gigi. Zio, look at this. His little teammate helps out and they slice up the enemy together. Lelouch's dead? Oh, no. Oh, well, we're screwed. We're screwed. It's over. Alright, I'm done. See the crap I gotta put up with? I just want to log this new character, and I have to beat this game on hard. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think I have to have a power level of like 80,000 for this to work. Apparently, Alderin's supposed to be really powerful, but she dies just as fast as anyone else in this game, so... Well, here, let's go through real quick. I have, what, 5, 10, 15... Mouse wheel, please. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26 characters. So the most I can get for tickets is 26 tickets. That's it. So I can get, just from these characters alone, 2 summons. 2 4 summons. That's it. That's all I get from this crap. Notice how Tanuki, by the way, is level 30. I mean level 10. I literally have no interest in using his character at all. Except to get a ticket out of him. So it's kind of bullcrap. I mean, Lush died so fast. It was unbelievable. And I'm trying to get Lush to, I think I broke the... So the way it works is you get a character... I know I'm rambling here, but you get a character to level 50. You have to break to the next rank. And you need a lot of, well, resources. I have all the chest pieces to do so, but I don't have enough energy orbs. I need another, like, 500 grand to get him to even be able to level him up to 80. So it's kind of absurd how this works. But yeah, we can't win, you know. Like, I can get Iron a little stronger here. You know, I'm gonna switch her outfit. I'm sick of looking at that. I can show Olerin off. Like, I'll play the easier combat scenarios just for fun. But here, I can show Olerin. Olerin's fun to use. The game just made her really weak for some reason. Like, she gets owned so fast in this game. I don't understand why they did it to her. But no, she's not a weakling by any means. She's fun to use. I just don't know why they Yeah, our flying strength is 76,500, but it's deceptive because you'll see it won't really be that way. Olerin's definitely a lot of fun to use. I just wish they didn't make her so inept when it mattered. She summons she summons the High Grail in battle. Like Ayano summons the she summons the what's it called? The Alexanders. Yeah, Zio is basically Darth Maul in this game. It's so cool. If you were to direct a Code Geass fan film, what would your story idea be like? Oh, this is easy. It would be a film discussing Geass. Like, we'd actually explain where it came from, how V2 got his power from, how it went from Shiori all the way down to V2, where U2 came from. I would explain everything. The film would be a lore dump, but it would be a fun lore dump, discussing exactly how everything came to be. Was Geass from aliens? Was it from humanity? Where was the origin of it? That would be my movie. Easy question. And that, you know, there's some things I can't answer. That one is a no-brainer. Let's see. Here, let's play some battles in Crimson of Blood Pack, because I'm actually almost done with this. God, I mean, I was so excited to show you guys a new character, and I got Lelouch. I mean, I don't even hate Lelouch. It's just like, why, you know? Whatever. Hey, you see Olerin? She's like losing so much health. She's almost dead. We're in the first round. If she's powerful, I must be an idiot because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Darth Maul, do your thing, buddy. Zio is just so cool. This is pretty cool though. Her high grow attacks 3 times. Badass. And she has like her own slash Harkins on her high grail, which is awesome. I could even got Suzaku hypothetically. Ugh, I almost got a level 10. Ooh, gold, that's good. My move would be Superhero Epic, where Zero faces off against Cornelia. You can never have enough Lelouch. It'd be cool if Zero was just as a Sith. Or Zio was a Sith. Yeah, it would be kind of cool. It would be indeed. He even, like, it's so cool. He throws it up and then he starts playing around with it. It's just, he's so badass. Dang it, Ayano, what the hell? She's 80. Her rank is like almost, she's level 80. What the hell? Don't do that. By the way, the Halloween costume confirms to me that they're gonna have alternate versions of all the characters for different costumes. So we were wondering before, like, are they going to have, like, let's say, the Shinkiro in the game? And I think they might if they give us a different version of Illusion with the Shinkiro. Here we go. See, you get a rainbow ticket. Bam. Now I have 4. Fantastic. Which is still not enough, by the way. But, we're out of AP, aren't we? Yay. I'll buy some more. When we're... Oh, we're already out? Okay, 1 second. Okay. Well, that was really stupid. I'll switch teams after this battle. I'm sure seeing the same people is kind of getting annoying. Even though I actually love this team, but I totally get it. Yeah, I wish they would have made Oz Reflection in OVA. Maybe they still will, you know? Don't lose hope yet. Maybe they still will. We'll see. I'll switch it up. Let's use who should we use? Let's see. Oh, Mao. We'll use Mao, and I'll use Cornelia? Yeah, why not use Cornelia? It can't hurt. I'm trying to think of like a fun combination of characters. Like, I could do Team Japan, like have all the people be from Japan. So it could be like Toto, where is she? Futaba. Lucia's in Japanese, is he? Nope. Yeah, are they ready to? Interesting. Okay, we'll say team mostly Japan. Hopefully this team actually works out. I don't know how effective this is going to be. Okay, that worked out. I know it's the same. Futaba. Oh, it helps her out too. Good. I think it helps out Mao as well. So good. No changes with the stuff. Let's see how this goes. This could be really bad. That's only if the creators cared about Oz and we'll do it. That's a good question. Do they care about Oz? The answer is probably not. Even though it has illusion in it, so it's not like you're not doing something that has no illusion in it. So I don't get it either. Like why they couldn't do it. Toto's pretty cool. He'll meditate and increase his stats. Futaba's hilarious. She'll run around like an idiot to strengthen her stats. Like, watch this really. Like, she'll run in there and do like this crazy dance. Yeah, there it is. So funny. Let me get her the boar. It's funny. We're not gonna survive this, are we? Oh, wait, we will. Get gone. We did it, yay. Futba's so proud when she wins, it's hilarious. Almost adorable, too. If Code Geass was a Star Wars universe, I'm not talking about the crossover, would it be like Luke be half Jedi and Sith? Like Darth Revan? Suzaku the Grey Jedi? Oh, like Jolie Bindu. And seem to be like Darth Taraya? Maybe. Raina was a mess. And people don't really know about it. Facts, they don't. It is what it is, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna switch it up again. Let's try, let's have Zero. Cornelia. Actually, let's put her there. We'll have Cornelia. I don't want Toto. Todo. I like Cecile too. Decisions. You really don't really want them back. I don't have a lot of options because the characters suck. I guess we'll go with Olderin. This is a very it's like basic Britannia supremacy, and then you have like Anya, Ino, just like starting by. So it's like we got basically old Britannian stuff, and then Ino. She doesn't belong in this situation, but whatever. We're putting her in it. We're gonna do it. She ain't the only one who's tired. She always wanted to help Illusion, and not only now she has her chance, so it's pretty good. Oh, see, she's like freaking dying over here. Powerful character, my butt. Lelouch had to bring the Gwaine out this early in the battle. What does that tell you? Incompetent. Nully, please heal her. They do the same pose there? Very similar. Interesting. Well, Code Geass also may have entered Demon Slayer universe as well due to Totsuya being a Demon Slayer or Hashira. Oh yeah. Look, they definitely went to different universes with these alternative stories. That's definitely accurate. That's a lot of enemies right there. We're so screwed. Yeah, Owen's about to die. I can't help her. Alright, we're done. This is why I'm not sure why people are so high on this character. Like, she literally gets killed all the time that I use her. Like, she's supposed to be really powerful, but like she keeps getting owned. You know, maybe it'll help her out, but it's kind of sad, I guess. I'll bring Cecile in there. I like Cecile, and I'll bring in Lelouch. I mean Zero. This is a very strange team, and then I'll give her. Oh. Okay. Wouldn't this boost her stats? Just saying. Well, because she's literally it's her face. Just saying, and then we'll use this one. Oh, really? I guess we're gonna use it anyways. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully we don't get killed. We are about to find out. That's right. Oh my god, she died again. What's our... Oh, we're actually below the battle expectation. No wonder we're getting killed. I guess I can't play fun anymore. I'll have to pick someone serious. Let's see. Maybe that fixes the problem, or maybe that makes it worse. I think now... Oh, we're barely... Oh, we're still below, but we might be okay, though. Let's see if my battle abilities good enough or not good enough. We shall see. God, Alderman keeps dying on me. She's so worthless. I threw so much experience points at her, thinking she was a good character to level up, and, well, she wasn't, unless I'm just an idiot. Which is probably the case, but that's, you know, neither here nor there. Damn it. I guess we're not ready to move on yet with this part of the game. I'll try one more time. One more time. This is Team BS, but here we go. You gotta have that BS to do this. I have so many kings and queens in this one. Man, this team is really powerful. Damn. We're getting owned here. They're like blocking everything. Man, we had to go off for that battle. Pretty much. How much do we have to go to finish the whole thing? Let's see. Oh, we got a mini boss coming up. Alright, let's see if we can get to the mini boss. My channel name on Media Chops, if you want to know, it was a custom, it was a name generator. I'm not even kidding. That's where I came up with it. One second. I picked the name Chops because people often discuss the idea of like chops, like your knowledge. I guess I was like media. I don't know. I didn't want to say anime because I had this fear at the time when I was starting YouTube and also my blog that, well, actually it was blog first and YouTube, which was I didn't want to tie my name to one specific thing because in the future, let's say I wanted to, I don't know, do something else, I couldn't. So I picked a name that was kind of generic because media can be anything. Media can be movies, it can be obviously anime, TV show. Like it's not limited to anything in particular, so it's kind of generic in that sense. And I've noticed that most animes or anime channels, when they come up with names, they don't say anime something. I mean, there are some examples like Anime Man, but most of the time it's like Replay Value, Tenking 101, The Masked Man. I don't know. Let me think. Bonsai Pop. That's a pretty popular one now. Nukes Taku. That's kind of familiar, but also kind of different. Gigic, Glass Reflections. Under the Scope. I mean, there's so many different channel names, but they have nothing to do with anime. The name doesn't have anime in it, so it's kind of generic. That was the reason why. There was no like. It wasn't some like big decision I thought about. It was more like I need something. I know names don't really matter. Ha! Now we're going to monster territory. Names don't matter, but that was kind of like my thought about it, or thoughts on it. Older, when you play the protagonist of the story, enter a war, and you pilot one of the strongest nightmare versions, and your leader played it at night. So why? I don't know. Maybe I'm just playing. Look, I could be playing this game like an idiot. I have no idea. I know you can improve the stats of the characters besides like leveling them up with certain items, and I haven't really done that because it's such a pain in the butt collecting all that stuff. It's like super tedious. Leveling up seems to be the best way to do this anyways, but I should probably be doing that. If I get stuck, I might have to do that. I'm hoping that's not the case, though. Is Suzaku the one with zero costume? No, it's Lelouch. I know, I was confused, too. You weren't alone. Oh, damn it! No, it's there. It's Lelouch. It's really bizarre. I'm hoping that in they will have the Suzaku Zero costume version, and maybe get a version of Suzaku that uses the Albion in battle. You know. When Colin will be in this game, she's gonna have like her normal Gurren. She will not be using the Satan 8 elements. Spoiler alerts. I'm not working for these people, but based on what they did for the W0 members and also Suzaku, they're not going to use the high advanced version of the Gurren. It's going to be the base version. So I look forward to, I guess. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Zio. Zero. Ayano, and then Bismarck. Do your thing, guys. Sparkly magic eyes glow. Go. Destruction. You're so far away from 50. We got good at orbs. We're almost at 20,000 orbs. Hope they update Lucius Zero's costume to Resurrection Film because his R1 costume was alright. If they do it, they're going to squeeze it out of you the old-fashioned way. You'll have to summon him like everyone else. What's funny about this game is that you actually unlock Zero through collecting items. Meaning, like, your actions in the game directly impact unlocking him. No other character in the game, except for maybe Gigi, Al, work the same way, which is so stupid to me. I'm not sure why I did it that way. It's kind of annoying. Aino? I mean, Aino's really powerful in this game. I think she's better than Alderaan, honestly. I mean, because even before I got her to this high of a level, she was always effective in combat. But Alderaan, like, she just keeps dying. She's like Totsuya. When I had Totsuya in an earlier game that I was playing, before I started this version, I basically deleted it and restarted. Totsuya, he was the same. He kept dying all the time. So frustrating. Our boss. Let's see, what do we get from being the boss? No golden. No rainbow ticket. Some cool codex, and then we might get, like, Futaba. We'll see. These boss fights are hard on hard. Fancy that. Boss fights on hard are hard. But they really are, though. Yeah, Zio's a freaking tank in this game. He like takes all. It's crazy. Like even when I'm losing, he's always the last to go down. Very underrated character in this game. If I get C2, Akito, Renya, and Colin, I'll probably be happy. I probably won't summon for a while once I get those characters. I know that like Suzaku is cool too, but I have no interest. I just want Colin, C2, Akito, and Renya. After that, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this game. We'll see. I'll wait for the stories to come out and I guess play as I do, or casually play the game. Oh, we got halfway. Nice. Darth Maul just vanquished him. Nice. Orpheus, yeah, I guess so. Get the twins together, why not? Maybe he actually is competent, unlike his sister, who keeps dying on me all the time. God, she keeps dying all the time. Oh, I should probably clean this out. Give me a second here. Oh, look at that, we got Guilford. Oh, we got Guilford, the blind version. What does this do anyways for you? When Guilford is HP is 20. Oh, this is for Guilford only. Didn't what? I guess it's not for Guilford. That's weird. Do I have any duplicates? Let's see. So annoying. I think we're good. Ooh, what's this one from Resurrection looks like? That's a cool one. I'll level it up. Let me just sing here. I can never understand how this stupid system works. I'll level up enough times, and then it'll tell me, like, hey, you want to go back to where its original stats? I'm like, why would I do that? The whole point of leveling this up was so I wouldn't have to go back. Like, it's so bizarre how this works. Like, now I keep going back and forth with this. Like, am I ever going to get it to where both things are good, or do I have to, like, reset one to fix the other? I could never understand. Yeah, see, now we're back to here again. Like, it's like an endless loop with this crap. Now we're back to base stats. What was the point of all that? Oh, now it's good? I don't get it. I'm so confused. Here, let's try it then. Let's go to this one, which I really worked hard to get. No, I'm not. I'm not touching it. I'm leaving it alone. No, we're gonna mess with it. I'm so smart. Let's see. See, it went back to 300. So what was the point of that? See, it's so weird how this works. Like, I want to level it up, okay? Now we're at 500 with the blade. Okay? And then what? And then what? And then it goes to now we're 200, 400. Okay? And then I do it again, and where's it gonna go to? Now it's 500, 400. Or 540. And then it's gonna go to 604. Like, see, now we're at 60, 200. I just don't get the logic here. Am I, like, playing roulette with it? Alright, let's try it again. I keep, like, playing game with it. No, we're not doing that. Crap. We'll take what we have and go with it. No, we're not doing anything. See, I made it worse. Ultimate Team. Gawain, Alexander, Lancelot, Hygro, Byakugan, and young man with excellent fighting skills with an OP instant kill. That would be pretty cool. This is the Galahad. Kind of cool. What's it do? Empire's strongest sword, beginning of the wave. There's a 10% chance attack power will increase by 8.5. The wearer is bone. What does that mean? Why would this is so stupid. Why would the Galahad work for these characters? What does Shirley, Ogi, and Tamagi have? Oh, because they're pawns. It works for pawns. I got it. Yeah, Nina's face. What does this one do? But Nina's not a character. That's weird. In the game yet, anyway. She's a character, just not in the game yet. Alright, enough wasting my money on things that didn't work out. Where was I? Here. Okay. Alright. What does that pose of Lucia even do? It's cool, but I'm not sure what he's doing. He'll just cut him up like nothing. Alright, I know, do your thing. The Louis V. Britannia commends you. Now all of you, die. I feel like Zero is good against, like, infantry units, but he's not good against bosses. Because he wiped all those... That explosion technique killed... Or that explosion killed all the units, but it seems worthless against bosses, so I wonder if that's, like, his thing. There should be another boss coming up. There's, like, 3 here, and then there's, like, the actual boss. Yeah, see, there's one here, And then at the very end, there's a boss, which I know I can't. Oh, there's two bosses back to back, so it's pretty rough stuff. I haven't gone through, by the way, Crimson and Blood Pack, the actual story. I'll do that at some point, but not on a stream because the dialogue is so painful to go through with a translator, as you guys probably saw from that one video. Or actually, I edited it out. I didn't get a chance to release it yet. Probably tomorrow, if I get a chance to make a thumbnail for it. I got part 2 of Genesis RE Code story, which I'm still kind of lost as to what the heck it is. I mean, I know the general concept, but like the small stuff. You know, when Al and Gigi are talking about like memories and purpose and some philosophical exposition dump, I guess. Probably go to like a. I'm surprised you haven't done R2 kill count yet because it's busy schedule delay or what. That's a good question. I started the kill count. The problem with R2 is that. Oh my god, the problem with R2. Like, stop the sentence right there. Done. No, the problem with R2 is that during the battle, I can't tell what's happening half the time. I have paused the footage as slow as I can get it. No, I'm sorry. I have a slow playback, and I'm pausing, and I can't tell what's going on during some of these conflicts. Like, there are red... Like, in R1, when you see a red dot, it means someone died, right? So I'm trying to figure out how many people have died and when. Like, it's... R2 is so chaotic with the combat, it's hard to follow it half the time. I literally can't tell who's killing who half the time. If I did a kill count for R2, it would be 80% accurate. There'd be like 20% of it just completely missing stuff because it's so hard to follow any of it. The fights are just so... It's crazy. The fights are just all over the place, to put it simply. Because I'm trying to follow it. It's that's why I stopped. I was actually working on it. I even went through like the first, I think, 10 episodes. I wrote down like who died when. I took a photo of it too for the video, but I had to stop because I couldn't. I'll say as much. If I do make it, which I do want to, it won't be accurate because I can't follow any of it. And the meter's going to explode because when Nina uses the Flea warhead, it's going to blow up the meter. I mean, when Suzaku uses it, it's going to go from like, I guess, 100, 200 to like a million. It's going to go. The meter's just going to explode. It's going to be the funniest thing. The best part of the video is it's just going to explode. That's what I want to make because it's going to be a lot of fun to do it, but it's just... Oh my god, it's going to take weeks to get that going. I am very busy, by the way. That is very true. That's why my videos are not... That's why I don't make videos as often. Like, I publish stuff from this stream, obviously, and I try to get at least one short video out a week, but like, if you want me to do, let's say, a complex discussion, like, I don't know. Oh, I first switched the team. Damn it. I didn't want to use this team for these easy enemies. My bad. Do I have any AP left? I have like almost nothing. Okay. I'm using like a rocket launcher to kill a fly here. Completely unnecessary. I'm gonna use Yukiya. Let's use Gino. I'll put in. Oh, this guy's awesome. And then Toto, and I guess Sayako. Question mark? We'll use Al. Why not? Alright, let's go. This is the dream team right here. I'm just joking, it's not. Yeah, I've been trying to get the video done for what's it called? Is Illusion villain, hero, or anti-hero? Like, I have like the notes for it. I just haven't got a chance to do it. Man, that revolver is so cool. It's just been a challenge to get all that stuff done. What is Gino doing with the Tristan? What is that? Like an explosion or something? That's kind of cool. Yeah, I do want to do Renya's arm. I've been meaning to do it for a while. Oh, yes, there we go. I'm level 9. I mean to do a video on Ray's arm for the longest time now, because there's a lot to talk about. Yeah, see, now if I go to C's World, check this out. Not like Sea World, but C's World. I always get that, like, I always jumble in my mind. So if I go to C's World, Al should be there now. Let's see. Al. There he is, see? There's our buddy. Talking to Futaba for some reason. Hey, Futaba, you want to know about my age? No, I don't care. Alright, I'm going to go to this fountain now and contemplate my thoughts. This guy must be so confused, because everyone else in this world understands, like, futuristic magic stuff. And this guy's from, like, Scotland Yard? He's like, what is going on here? He must be so confused. Toto's enjoying the view. Nelly can't because she's blind, but she's still... Man, Nelly is quite intelligent because she can't see, but she knew not to go further with her wheelchair because she would fall to her death. Kind of funny. Cornelia's chilling and wondering about if this is similar to Aries Vale. I wish Gigi was by Al because, they're kind of friends and stuff, but I guess she doesn't want to talk to him right now. Yeah, there's Alush. There's Zero, Cecile, Alderin. You know what? I want to try something. Let's see. Can we get Al and Gigi talking to each other? Let's see. Okay, there's Zio, Gigi. Where's Al? Al's not here. That's Gino. It's kind of depressing you can't have all of them on screen at one time. I guess it would have been too difficult for the devs to work on. That would have been kind of cool though if we could have had them all together. Or, better yet, how come I can't just pick who I want to be there at all times? Like, there should be like an option that says, hey, if you want, let's say, how many characters are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think? I think it's 12 characters. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, if you can have 12 characters on the screen, you should be able to pick which ones you want instead of just forcing you to have like randoms. Because at this point, it's just like I don't really want to see Mao ever here. I don't think he should be allowed in C's World. I don't know why they let him there, but I guess they do. Zio, don't do it, man. Don't jump. You got so much to live for. I'm such an idiot. Okay. This game looks like fun. It can be. The problem with this game in a nutshell is that it's too grindy and it forces you to like... Everything you do in the game there's a disconnect basically, because if you want to unlock a character, right, instead of doing like a task to unlock a character like you would do, let's say in a normal video game, where you would, oh, I got another ticket? No, okay. In a normal game, if you want to unlock a character, you would, I don't know, think of any like old style game. You'd beat a mission, beat a level, collect a certain amount of items, whatever it was. You would do something and then it would relate to getting a character. In this game, I think most gacha games do this. If you want to collect characters, you have to summon them. And it's basically a lottery. This game is basically a couple steps from a slot machine, because you're putting in your money, you're spinning the wheel essentially, and you're not guaranteed to get anything you want. So your hard work won't translate into what you're actually hoping to acquire. And the same goes with like leveling up, because you use items to level your characters that you don't actually like you don't use experience points in this game. You use like items you pick up, which is, kind of okay. I don't know. The resource stuff in this game is a little ridiculous to me. They basically force you to have to use your own money to beat this game. I mean, right now I'm not like doing any story battles because my AP is low. See this? You have a stamina meter because God forbid you have too much fun playing this game. But if you want to get more AP, here's an option. I have Geass shards. Well, say you didn't have Geass shards, you could go to the store and give your yen, buy Geass shards, and then you can go to your AP meter and fill it up. I mean, here's some bull crap for you, okay? I'm going to go on like a rant about the Halloween stuff. Why I hate the Halloween thing in Code Geass, okay? Look at this crap. If you want to get the best items in this, you have to have an S rank. Okay? My score is 2 million, which is pretty good. You know, I don't put my own money into this, and I played relatively all day. You know, I have work, obviously, but on that, I am playing this all day. I'm having my characters as much as I can grind out to get stuff, experience points, and things like that. And I'm a B rank. Now let's look at the top 50 characters, okay? We have this guy, level 80, 124 million. Let's see. 61, 96 million. This person's 22 and has 84 million. Look at this crap. 80, 73 million, 80, 71 million. And we know these people... There's a new Lush, by the way. These people didn't get this way by just using the in-game credits. They put their own money in. This whole Halloween thing is essentially pay to win. Because if you just played it normally and grind out for your Geass shards, you're not going to get this high as a score. It's impossible. This is simply a pay to play. That's why I'm so angry with it. At least with the other game, over most of the game, you don't have to put your money in and it doesn't really affect anything. It just means it'll take longer to acquire something. But in this Halloween mode, you literally can't win because you're not willing to put in money to level up your characters. I mean, if this person has a 22 level, but 84 million, they must have bought so many items to level up the characters without ever actually playing the game. That's how stupid this is. Because you can do that, by the way. You can, if you go to the store, here, let me show you. You can go to the store right now, and you can buy this, which gives you experience, and it also gives you orbs. If you just flood the gates and you flood your and you keep buying this over and over and over again, which there's no limit, by the way. I'm not gonna, there's no limit. Then you could literally go to any character and level them up. Will they have intimacy till 10? No, but who cares? You're just trying to get you're trying to win this stupid competition, and that's the absurd part I have with this game. And I know people want to do like a player versus player thing, and that's fine. But here's the issue with that: it's gonna be the same crap. If people can pay money to level their characters to absurd heights, then people who put their money in are gonna beat the guys who don't. It's such garbage. And it's frustrating because I want to I want to collect the new version of Gigi, and I only can get that by beating this game through its the way it was intended to be played. But I keep getting stuck at this one point, and as you guys saw, I got utterly destroyed back there. I have to have an insane lineup of characters that are at least 80 apiece. To get them 80 apiece, I have to have enough AP to play the game. I have to have enough items to level them up, and it's hard to acquire that. So it's just absurd that if you want to play this game without putting money in, good luck to you. Good luck to you, sir. That's why I hate this game so much. I enjoy the interaction with the characters. I enjoy the animations. I enjoy the RPG story battle when it's not too repetitive. It's fun unlocking characters, but man, disconnecting the audience from actually playing the game to succeed at it is so stupid to me. The fact you could just put money in, level up all your characters and win, that's not how it should be done. It's a horrible design decision that people are doing nowadays in their games. I have no idea why this happened, but we've taken a really cool industry like video games and we've turned it into a big money cash grab. And for all the people who said that on the app reviews, they were absolutely correct. It's a complete cash grab. I don't care if they make things cost less. The fact that you have to pay it all is the problem. Really, really sickening. I don't know. I mean, I liked the fact they put a Halloween stuff in there, but why the hell did you turn this game into a pay-to-win? Your fan base loves Code Geass, okay? You know that. So why would you treat them like crap and purposely put this in there? Alright. I'm done ranting. I'll make a video about this later in the future, like an actual full-on review. Because I'm just like the game was tolerable until the Halloween stuff. It's a shame too, because actually I appreciate the aesthetics they did. Let's see. It'd be cool to see Alder and Lush together. Yeah, it would be. So far in the Geass Code, again, I haven't gone through the story, but I haven't seen Lush and Alder interact directly. I can take a quick. Let's see something. I'm not gonna use the subtitles. I'm just gonna take a quick look here. Let's see. I'm just gonna fast through it. Fast forward through it. There we go. English. I can speak it. Let's see. What's cool about this too, I will give them credit, there's a log you can go through, which is kind of nice. But, so you saw he's reflecting on stuff. Okay. Even though I'm not trying, I just want to go through it just to see, let's see, come on. I hope it's not going to take too long. Oh, what the fudge? What's with these outfits? Did they make Gigi just to sexualize her? Like, with Colin, I had a theory. There's definitely arguments to be made. But Gigi, really? Wow. I guess the creators thought their audience was horny, and they took advantage of it. Even though they're my age, right? So it's kind of weird. You know, because I assume they made this game for the fans of Code Geass who watched it when they were in their youth, and now they're in their 30s, like myself. So, you know, do I want to see high school kids? And maybe, I mean, well, legally you shouldn't, but anyways. I'm trying to get to the part we're wondering. See, this is the same as the other one as well. She like gets close to him, and we learn nothing. Where is the interaction between Lush and Olerin, or whoever, honestly, at this point? Hello, okay. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get what we want. I don't think we're gonna get what we want here. See, nothing. How about this one? What's Gigi look at this time with her dress-up game? Let's see. I'm not saying that interaction that we were promised. They haven't gotten to it yet. Don't worry, guys. They haven't gotten to it yet. That's why we haven't seen it. Okay, now we're in this is where the archive lives. There she is. Yeah, we're not getting anywhere with this. I don't know. See, the point it's just like, what's going on? Okay, I'm not going through this. You get the point. They haven't shown it to us yet. And it says, by the way, that this is finished. Like, the whole story is complete. They can't be complete. They probably haven't finished it yet. Because, yeah, I don't know. What time is it? Ah, it's getting late. Okay. Yeah. So, the game's a mixed bag. There's some positives, some negatives. This is definitely the worst part of the game. Oh, I never showed you guys Abyss mode. Here, I'll show you guys. The last thing I'll do, I'll show you Abyss mode. Then we're gonna end here. You know, I don't like Abyss mode, but I'll show you anyways. All right. So Abyss mode is like a RTS game, and the way it works is you have a bunch of units, and you simply command them to destroy motherships. You have your motherships against their motherships. That's basically it in a nutshell. It's very simple. They spice it up by giving you multiple motherships under your control. Or sometimes they work with you. They're not really under your control, but you get the idea. It's not the greatest thing. But anyway, let's take a look. So let's see. So we have Nunnally in her ghost form. So you can send your troops out like this to attack different units. It's kind of cute, you know, when your units succeed and stuff. But it's ultimately, it's not that exciting to play. Most of the time I have this like on an hour and I'll just leave it alone. And the characters, and I'll just not milk it out, but I'll just soak it for an hour and let it do its thing. Let's go, Gee. We don't got time for this. You two will remove it. You can speed up the time to combat, but it's still really slow. Oh, I don't think we got it. Damn it. Yeah, we didn't got it. There we go. That's another thing you can do. Are you still gonna do a walkthrough like you did before? Yeah, I am. I have like the one that we did in our one. What was it? I said one twice. I'm really dumb. The first time I played this game, I have to get that walkthrough up, and I'm gonna do the other ones as well. And give my actual, like, I won't like make fun of the story and what I just did there. I'll actually give some real analysis and discuss it and what I think about what they're trying to do, even though I don't really understand what they're trying to do. But you know, F me, I guess. Oh, this one. They have this thing called survival mode. Oh, it's such crap. Because I can survive for as long as I have to. Will my units survive? No, they will not. They'll get pummeled. Oh my god, level 50? Forget it. We're out. I'm out. Yeah, the most of the time I end up just doing the free stage, and how the free stage works is you just kill a bunch of enemies and you get like items and stuff. So like here, this is what I mainly do with Abyss. So you can walk around. So I can go to like let's see, let's find a person I can go after. I hit the menu or the radar. What the hell, radar? Let's go. So we got Ogi here. You have let's see. What's her name? Sayako. Valletta has like, I don't know what's wrong with her. Maybe the tick. And then you have Toto, and then Lloyd. We're gonna go with Lloyd. He's driving me crazy. I don't even hate Lloyd, but we're gonna target him. Fudge Lloyd. This game can't be complete. It's a mess. I would say, like, I don't think they're going to change the core gameplay. It's definitely not fully... It's not finished because... I mean, I didn't show you this. I'll briefly show you one thing before we end the stream because it's getting kind of late. But they didn't even give you the full features of the game in general. And again, I'll go more depth in the video review whenever I get that up. But one of my complaints is that if the game wasn't fully finished... Why not just delay it until like next year? It's totally fine. I don't care. I mean, it's like you either get me to wait now, or you know, like I can play now and wait, or just never play it at all. It's no difference to me. There's no difference. And I think they released the game this early because they wanted to get some money. That's why. I mean, they're making changes to the game to fix the AP problems, but I'll be honest, the existence of the AP is the problem, not how much you consume. You shouldn't have an AP system. I think that's ridiculous. Anyways. So it's kind of cool. I didn't show you guys before, but one thing, and then we're going to end this. So if you go to the... I got pumpkins, yay. You can use them as currency for however long. If you go to R1, right? So it says complete, right? Complete. But it's deceptive. Because check this out, okay? I go to the game, right? I'm in Chapter 2. See this? It's not unlocked until the 29th of October. And then if you keep going, this is the crazy part, you keep going, look at this. We have November. Look at this. Then it keeps going all the way till end of November. So you can't, and look at this. This is stage 16. we're going to have to wait until next year to finish this whole thing. And we haven't even seen, like, this is Akito, R2, Oz of Reflection, Rainy of Darkness, Lucia of the Resurrection. If they are, if they're following, like, the same, like, if this is the order of stuff coming out, and they're going at this pace, it's going to be a long time until we actually get the observation mode we were promised, which, again, begs the question, why release the game now? I would just wait until, But it is what it is. Yeah, that's. I think we'll wrap it up here. I don't think you guys need to suffer through more of this. I'll keep playing, though, each stream, just because it is fun when you actually, have all the characters. But, yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Next week will be a fun Halloween special. So, stay tuned for that. Anyways, guys, thanks for all the support, and have a good week. Have a good week. Thanks, guys, for watching.